All right, let's do this. Finally, sorry for the delay there. I moved for a second. It said my sound cut out, so I had to double check and make sure everything was running well. And I'm going to triple check it here with this sound check before we get started. Hope you're all doing well. Sounds good to me. Let me know if it doesn't. Sounds good to me. All right, let's do this. Hey, Hoff here. Welcome to Hoffcast. Tuesday night is all right for Hoffcast. Now we're back on Tuesday. After last week, we had to do the Wednesday stream because I was in the jails. Fun time. So I'm trying to stay out of those jails again. So do my best to be a good boy, but I'm still going to give you a good show. At least do my best too. I hope everyone out there watching is doing all right. Join in the chat if you have anything to say. Always appreciate that. We got some fun stuff to go over tonight, some not so fun stuff to go over tonight. But we're going to try to make it fun. That's what we do here at Hoffcast. We try to look at these things and have a sense of humor about them, I guess. So if you haven't already, please give this video a like. Give me a subscribe if you would, You could make my day by turning that button gray. So lame. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's Hoffcast is free. Always will be. So if you just do me that favor, we can stay in touch, baby. We can be friends. So welcome all you bosses out there. Hope you're doing well tonight, and cheers to you. Oh, look at this. Mr. Matt Brooks, thanks for stopping by, man. So just stopping in to say hi. Hoffy's in Vegas partying. Well, don't let me stand in your way, man. Don't let me stand in your way. That sounds like a great time, and I hope you win big out there, bud. I hope you win big. He's a great guy. Always good to hear from Matt. So, before we go any further, we might as well just go ahead. I'm gonna plug for just a second here. I've got so many tabs up. You're gonna have to give me a moment tonight. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do this. And let's go to this. Got to plug myself, baby. I got my own website, Hoffcast.com. Hoffcast.com. So if you haven't already checked it out, that's where you can keep up to date with me, my what's going on, in the world of Hoff, if you're interested. So, we got the banner here at the top. That's a link to the YouTube channel, Hoff Direct. This is where I tell you about, the next stream. This one is the next stream, which is what you're currently watching. Hoffcast exclusive videos that aren't on YouTube, most likely. News. This one I tried to update a little bit more, but for some reason this web builder doesn't upload photos very quickly. It's really weird. Just some Illuminate stuff there. Hoff tunes. I like to play a little music. Hoff quote. This week's quote is "Boss up." We're bosses here. But and then pics. This is my dog. In case you're wondering if you've been on my website, that's my dog Kira on the left, and that's the Egyptian Sphinx on the right. And I just thought my dog, whenever I took her picture, it reminded me of that, and I found a picture that was just very similar. So I don't know if the Sphinx is a dog or a cat, but just the way they kind of look alike right there is cool. Connect with Hoffcast. We got Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube right there. So I don't use the Instagram, the Twitter too much, but I do check it every so often. There's also my emails also in the description below. But that's my website. Check it out, because sometimes I get in trouble. And, if I'm not available for like a couple weeks, then, you'll know why. I can tell you here by the website. Let's get started maybe with just some funny warm-up videos, just some good stuff before we get into the nil-gritty, the nil grill. A little dry. I apologize. I'm going to try to wet the whistle. Speaking of whistle, I feel like my nose is whistling right now. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm sorry if that's it's cold. It's cold here right now. That's why I'm wearing a jacket during the stream. It's kind of cold. So please pardon me. Let's see what we got here. I know I wanted to. I had a really okay. Here we go. Let's start with something nice and wholesome. You know, I like to do that on occasion. Actually, I just like to do a lot of streams like that. This is World's Funniest Husky compilation, something like that. I'm gonna full screen it so you can see a little bit better. But the reason we're watching this, my dog's like half husky, and it's super cold out right now, and my dog's loving it. And I was doing some research on some husky. I was doing some research on some huskies this week, and I was like, does my dog just love the cold because she loves the cold, or is it because she's half husky? Well, I guess like it's ingrained in these dogs, which maybe I'm an idiot for not knowing this, but like, yeah, it's like they're bred for that. They're bred for the cold. That's why they can pull sleds through miles and miles of snow. You know, I was scared to take her out for like a half-hour walk in the snow because I was afraid her paws would freeze. But I guess turns out that's not the case. So that makes me feel better. That makes me feel better about my pup. She's right back here. She's just snoozing right now. We played for a good bit earlier, so I think I got her worn out. They are energetic dogs. They're the best dogs. Well, all dogs are the best dogs. I love labs too. But yeah, look at them chasing the wipers. I think they're beautiful dogs. My dog, like I said, half husky. She's got the brindle coat with the short hair. So I was like, is she still staying warm out there? But I guess so. It doesn't seem to faze her one bit. All right, let's do another kind of crazy video here. I'm not crazy. Well, Huskies are crazy. I was gonna say Huskies can be. Look at that thing. So hope you're all doing well tonight. We are going to get into the crazy stuff for too long. I promise you all. Let's see here. This one's a good one. I mean, this is scary. This is really scary. I hope everyone was in a situation. This one is dumbass throws ice into an oil fire, causes a massive fireball, then quits his job on camera. Says some people are simply too stupid to have a real job. That's why they end up doing the easy jobs that are normally for. Well, I mean, you got anyone working, I give them credit. I'm not gonna put down anyone who's out there trying to make a buck. I won't do it. This article, whoever wrote this, Hoff here won't. In this case, this man isn't even smart enough to join the starter workforce. Look at what happens when he tries to put out a small oil fire in a sink. Instead of smothering it, he decided to throw a bucket of ice on it. The result, a massive fireball. This does. I think we get two angles of this too. It's pretty wild.
Damn, I fucked up. I quit. Fuck this bitch. I quit.
Oh, bud, he's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It just hit him. He's frozen, even though there's a fire in front of him. He's like, could I just pretend it's not there? What? Oh, it's getting bigger. Oh no! What do we do? Is there not an extinguisher somewhere around? Oh, I got a better idea than trying to find a fire extinguisher. Which, if I'm not wrong, I don't know if that's one right up there. I don't think it is. No, it's got a pipe going to it. But I mean, I'm sure there's one around there, right? Every place has one. There's one right outside my door. Whoa! Look at that. I mean, I hate to laugh. I'm pretty sure everyone was okay. But yeah, just a lesson if you're out there in that field, that type of work. If you see a grease fire, don't throw water on it. It's bad news. Bad news all day. And then you got to quit your job instead of getting fired. And speaking of the cold weather, as I was talking about, it's cold here. This is kind of a PSA to everyone out there. Just watch out what's going around you when you're driving. Snow. So this video is snow plow damages 40 cars, causes accidents by shooting ice and snow into the opposing lane. This is scary. It's like it could happen to anyone. This was in Erie County, Ohio, which is up north, I believe, up north of me. About 40 vehicles were damaged Sunday when a snowplow tossed slush onto the opposite side of the Ohio Turnpike near Sandusky, State Highway Patrol said. A Reddit user posted video which shows the slush hit several vehicles, causing at least one car to spin out. Several vehicles were struck by the debris and crashed into other vehicles or guardrails, the Highway Patrol said. So let's check out this video. It's not a very long video from what I remember, but it's still pretty wild. So just watch out. Be careful out there. Keep your eyes peeled.
How the hell does that work? I said, if they're spraying water, you know it ain't nice. Oh, shit.
I don't know. Look at these cars swerving like a NASCAR race at Talladega. That car was lucky he didn't hit the guardrail. He was close. I mean, he ended up in the embankment.
Fucking Plow just caused an accident.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's watch that again.
How the hell does that work? I said, if they're spraying water, you know it ain't nice. Oh, shit.
I like the guy narrating. Dang. That is wild.
Fucking Plow just caused an accident.
And that driver got off pretty lucky there. Maybe he had a big enough truck, he was just able to get through it. And there's smaller cars, they don't have enough weight to them to keep them down. All right, here's let's talk about some candy for a little bit, I guess, because Hoff here loves candy. Not really. Candy's okay. I don't eat it too much unless it's like a gift or something. I was on a jelly bean kick there for a minute, and they started hurting my teeth, so I kind of stopped eating them. I was eating them late at night, right before bed. I was like, oh, I got the craving for some Jelly Bellies. The popcorn are my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, but they're all good. So M&Ms, here we go. I'm sure you've all heard. I don't really have a really strong take on this. I just think it's kind of funny. This is on the Mars website right here. So I didn't know. I didn't know that candies had genders, or like they were supposed to. I thought candy was candy, and yeah, they're characters, but let's be real for a minute. They're not real. These characters, they're acting like they're real. I guess we can say the same thing about like fictional characters in like superhero movies, or like Star Wars, or any of those any movie like that. Big blockbusters and stuff, or anywhere they're trying to push an agenda like this. But now it's going to the candy. It's going to the candy man. The candy man can. So this is straight from their website, the Mars website. M&M's creating a world where everyone feels they belong. How? M&M saving the world. Thank goodness. I thought we were done. I thought the world was doomed. Thank goodness M&M's and Mars Candy are here to save the day, because we needed a hero to stand up for us. And here we go. Now it says At Mars, we believe that in the world we want tomorrow, society is inclusive. And as one of our most iconic brands, M&M's is announcing a new global commitment to create a world where everyone feels they belong. Listen to this propaganda right here, because this is what it is. I don't even know if Mars wants to put this stuff out there. I think they got paid a lot of money to do this by hire people, because it's like, well, M&M's, they are one of the most iconic brands. And it says at Mars, listen to this rhetoric. At Mars, we believe that in the world we want tomorrow, society is inclusive. Society actually is pretty inclusive. I don't know why it's up to this candy company to tell everyone that. It says, and is one of our most iconic brands, aka the one we can use this to as our biggest platform for this agenda. M&M's is announcing a new global commitment. Let's go back. A new global commitment. That sounds a little bit like something else, does it not? Like a new world you know, a word. Commitment to create a world where everyone feels they belong. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, M&M's. Thank you so much, M&M's. We're not gonna watch this video, but you see, yeah, I guess there's the difference. They're changed. I don't know. It's the whole thing's stupid. It's propaganda. It's not even a thing that anyone should be up in arms about. But they want to make it that way. This is all about the controversy. It's all about also getting everyone on track with them. It's crazy. I think it's stupid that they did this, yeah, but it doesn't offend me or anything. M&M's have been around for more than 80 years, and the brand continues to evolve to reflect the more dynamic, progressive world that we live in. It's a damn candy. It's a chocolate wrapped in a hard shell sugar coating. They're changing the world now. I never thought M&M's would be the savior of the world. As part of this evolution built on purpose. This is crazy stuff right here. We're getting straight from the Mars website. This is honestly more telling than anything we've heard from Klaus Schwab in a minute. It says M&M's promises to use the power of fun to include everyone with a goal of increasing the sense of belonging for 10 million people around the world by 2025. What does that mean? What does that mean? What 10 million people? Be more specific. And why by 2025? That sounds like a type of agenda right there. I'm telling you, this is some deep stuff right here. The brand, okay, maybe I am more up in arms about this than I thought I was. Maybe I do care more about this. Not so much about what they're trying to portray, but what they're saying right here is pretty wild. Holy moly. This is some crazy stuff. The brand has introduced M&M's Fund to track their brand's impact on our mission, which will offer resources, mentorship opportunities, and financial support in the arts and entertainment space. Of course, Hollywood. So, to help ensure people have access to experiences where everyone feels they belong. It's all tied in. This is interesting. This is way more interesting than I thought it was going to be when I first got into it. I skimmed over it earlier. The refreshed M&M's brand will include a more modern take on the looks of our beloved characters, as well as more nuanced personalities to underscore the importance of self-expression and power of community through storytelling. Fans will also notice an added emphasis on the ampersand to more prominently demonstrate how the brand aims to bring people together. Oh, that's so good of them. M&M's branding will also reflect an updated tone of voice that is more inclusive, welcoming, and unifying, while remaining rooted in our signature jester wit and humor. Okay. This is weird, man. Like, anyone cares that what the M&Ms do? It's a candy. Like, they're M&Ms. They're not even human. They're not human. They're not human. Why? Candy. Changing the world. Freaking Willy Wonka over here. The new M&M's global commitment, there you go once again, is just one of many actions being taken across Mars. Oh, weird. To deliver on a world where society is inclusive. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, inherently being inclusive. What I'm saying is this: if you see where the certain terms here, the jargon, the terminology, it's very, you see where it's coming from. It's not coming from Mars. I don't feel like this people working there making the candies are this committed to the 10 million people that need to be included by 2025, even though they don't specify who these people are really. Advanced gender equality in our workplaces, in the marketplace, and in communities where we source raw materials. Within Mars, we're committed to fostering an environment where more than 130,000 associates feel valued and respected, regardless of any visible or invisible differences. I've worked a bunch of jobs, very diverse jobs. I've never seen any hate in my life. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird that I think these people live on Twitter or something if they think there's that much hate in the world. I really do. But so yeah, that's I feel, I don't know if I should. I mean, I don't normally eat candy a whole lot. I never really go to the store and just as a grown man just pick out some candy, unless it's maybe a fast break bar. I like those. It's very rare, you know. I'll take a protein bar or something over it any day. They're not as good, obviously, but you know, at least you think, you know, you might be getting a little bit more energy or something out of it. You still got to keep your eye on those as well. I'm no health expert or nothing, but I'm just saying. I'm not on my high horse either. I like some candy on occasion. I said I like a nice Reese's fast break, but I don't know. Should we boycott M&M's Mars? I don't know. This is weird stuff. I'm not saying boycott them because they want to be inclusive. I'm saying this is some new world blah 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 kind of stuff we're talking about right here. And who's funding this stuff behind it? The people making the candy, do they really care that much? It's so weird. It's so weird. Or do they just think that this is going to get them somewhere better? It didn't help Gillette a whole lot with their woke ads, you know. That's the thing. A lot of this woke propaganda that you see like this, they don't even care that if they lose money on it, because they'll get funded out anyway. They'll get bailed out and funded regardless. Get bailed out when they lose money and then funded again a little bit later when everyone forgets about it. So that's the way it goes. They don't care. It's all about pushing this narrative for control, so you don't dare question the candy companies. On the same note, I got another article on that. This is a satire from the Babylon Bee. It says M&M's introduces new trans character who identifies as a Skittle. Like I said, this is satire. This is not true. As part of a bold new marketing strategy to promote inclusivity and appeal to less than 1% of the population, Mars Incorporated has introduced a new M&M character who identifies as a Skittle. The CEO says, I'm going to be honest here. We basically are doing this because it's hip and makes us look cool. And that adds to the bottom line. I think we can make a decent fortune by comparing the hardship of real trans people to a wacky cartoon character. Trans people deserve to be represented by M&Ms. Our trans Skittle character will help us break chocolate-covered barriers in your mouth and not in your hands. The new character named Quinn is an M&M that wears an S because they haven't had letter reassignment surgery yet. On the inside, Quinn has the same chocolate taste because it isn't able to change anything but its outward appearance. Wow. Dang. We just want to let the trans community know that M&M supports you and wants your money. Well, and there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to watch this later. I'm not going to watch it right now, but look at this. Welcome to Hate Me. This is a different article. Welcome to Hate Me, Date Me with AOC. The game where you can tell AOC just how much you hate her, and she'll draw her own conclusions about how much you want to date her. Which lucky bachelor will she pick? That always gives me a laugh. I want to say hey to Buford T. Justice. How you doing, man? How you doing, bud? He said, I like the brown ones, especially the M&Ms. The dark chocolate are best. I like dark. I've grown accustomed to dark chocolate in the past few years. I didn't used to like it as much, but I got to shout out to the peanut M&Ms. I think those, or they used to have the double crunch peanut M&Ms, something like that. It was something weird back in the day, but I don't think they do that anymore, unfortunately. Those were good though, or maybe they still do, and I just don't check the candy enough. But I like the peanut ones, man. But the dark chocolate, good too. Good choice. So yeah, welcome all to Hoffcast. We got a lot tonight. So yeah, stay tuned. I just need to take a breath real quick, gather my grounds, and then we'll go from here because I'm not sure exactly where to go from here. I don't know if we should get into the stuff that's going to take a while or just go over some quick stuff here. All right, I know what will get me going. All right, I know what will get it all going here. I got the answer to it all.
And how about Penelope?
Well, Penelope, she's only 2, so I think she'd be happy with just about it.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful that you have a 2-year-old. Well, have a Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas.
And by the way, you guys have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, you know, and asleep between 9 and 12, or he doesn't show up.
This isn't to you, Jared. This is to the kids.
That's right.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon? Where's your home?
Where's your home? Where's your home?
All right.
I had to do it. I had to do it. All right, let me take a look at the list here. Thank you all for joining. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Cheers to you all. And welcome to Hoffcast. If you're just joining in, excuse me. We got a good show laid out for you. A lot of stuff to go over. I want to talk about this that I saw. It was pretty interesting. It's a recent article. This is from the New York Post, but you can find a couple different articles on this. This is pretty terrifying stuff right here. This kind of boils down to, you know, and I'll tie this in more later in the show, but this says scientists think 2020 lockdowns may have caused less lightning. What does this sound like to you? To me, this sounds like they want to use lockdowns again for climate change. I'm not the first one to say this, but from what I see in this, and this article is from January 24th, from yesterday, from what I see here, that's what they're trying to propagate is, and it's always scientists. Oh, okay. Good on you, bro. Nice, your lab coat. Scientists have theorized that lockdowns may have helped decrease. I'm not a doctor here, all right, or a scientist. I'm just reading this article. Decrease the amount of aura meteorologists. So we're going a lot of different angles here. May have helped decrease the amount of lightning produced in the atmosphere in the year 2020, according to a recent study. It was at the American Geophysical Union, or the study was presented there, analyzed atmospheric factors that may have contributed to reductions of a certain amount, certain percentage, depending on how lightning is counted. Seems like a big variable right there. A physical meteorologist at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology said the team used 3 different methods to measure the lightning, but all methods pointed to a reduction of activity. Really? The study focused on aerosol optical depth, which measures particles produced by burning fossil fuels. These particles can act to accelerate and enhance the collection of water vapor and cloud formation. More particles absorb more moisture, blah, blah, blah. You always get that. I don't know how they get that. It all points to a reduction in people being outside. Also, like, didn't that volcano that went off, like, put out more stuff in the atmosphere to ruin it than all of humanity combined in its existence? Like, we're not the only thing causing this stuff, in my opinion. I think sometimes Mother Nature just takes her old course, you know? So yeah, that's something to keep in mind right there, is lockdowns due to climate change, or more propaganda on getting you to try to stay inside. Maybe not necessarily lockdowns, but definitely propaganda, or celebrities coming out and saying, stay inside more often, use your Oculus from Facebook, from Mark Zuckerberg, and get on the metaverse rather than going outside and contributing to the end of the world and pollution and all this stuff that's killing us and everyone. And also, if you stay inside, you can social distance better and not catch any of the sicknesses that we could be creating to keep you inside more often. So, just stay inside. That's what we're trying to do now. Get on your virtual reality headset and just live from there in the metaverse. I think they're all in cahoots on this. I think Zuckerberg, Gil Bates, all these people, Klaus Schwab's, all these people are in on this stuff, man. They're all working together. United Nations working in on it. It's pretty crazy. What else we got on that? What else we got on that kind of stuff here? Take a look at my list. I hope you all are doing good tonight. I'm having a good time. I'm having a pretty good time. So let me lead in with this, and then I'll get to what happened recently after that. So this was an article from November 9th, 2021. And the article, this is from the Independent, by the way. I don't like the Independent. Terrible. I don't know what you want to call them. Fake news, fake media, activists. I don't know what they are, but every one of their articles is trash. That's all I know. We got Eldrick Lord Haster here. Hey, how you doing, Darth? AKA Darth. Man, how you doing? They are wanting us to stay inside to control population. You're absolutely right. It is all about control, he says. Thank you for being here, man. Welcome to Hoffcast. I hope you're doing well tonight. Cheers to you. I'm going to tie this back around here a little bit. So this is crazy. You know how the current thing that's going on, the big deal that's making everyone stay inside and wear face diapers and whatnot, and get medicine in them, that's kind of dying off, a little bit. With the Omicron. At least in the media it is. I don't know. No one really knows the numbers, I feel like, because of all the lies. But you can trust CNN, NBC, just not me. Don't listen to Hoffcast here. I don't know anything. Not a doctor, not a scientist. So, but basically, it does tie back around to control. They move the goalposts constantly. It's hard to keep up with how they want me to say something, what I can say. But allegedly, I got a First Amendment. I got my rights. But YouTube and whatnot, they're private platforms, so I got to abide by their rules. Whose rules are they under? It's like Carhartt. Carhartt, good company. I was talking about this last week, I believe. They're still enforcing mandates, even though they don't have to. I think that's wild. I don't know why you would do that. And who's paying these people behind? Who's running these places? Like, where's the money coming from? Because I think it's the profits don't matter anymore. It's more about control. It's more about, because it used to be everyone thought that people who ran companies wanted more customers, not less customers. But you're not seeing that now. You're seeing they're all saying, "F you guys, we don't need you. We'll just, we're trying to, basically appeal to 1% of the population here and that's it. And we're going to insult the rest of you because we've had your business for years. We can rely on you. Most of you will forgive us in a few months when you forget about this stuff. But a lot of you, we still pick up the business from other people, or they're just trying to push this agenda, which it's, in my personal opinion, a big depopulation thing. It's control and depopulation. And when you got people who can't reproduce, no offense, it's fine if you are that. Just don't push it on kids or anything. Make sure you're consenting adults. Don't push it on other people, especially if they don't feel that way. But you can do whatever you want to do. But this is more of a thing so people aren't reproducing as much, Like you got, let's say, and no offense, I'm not trying to be offensive here at all. Like let's say a lesbian couple, and you got one woman who is the woman in the relationship and one woman who's the man. That's not always the case. I get that, but a lot of the times that seems to be the case. It doesn't matter. There seems to be a male-female relationship there, but yet there's no reproduction. And then you get trans people and whatnot, and it just becomes a whole bigger mess where people don't even know. And then the kids are going to be raised by these people, and they're not going to know. It's just going to be downhill for generations, just like these cures they're trying to give us, or giving us. Fifth 90, what's up, man? Glad you could be here, bud. Welcome. Hope you're doing good tonight. Said I'm in a good mood. It's a little chilly. It's super cold here where I am. It's super cold. And I don't like the cold. Hoff he ain't down with the cold. He ain't down with the sickness, Buford T. Justice says Klaus Schwab eats shit for breakfast. That's probably true. Or crickets. He likes. I doubt that. He's eating the good stuff. He's eating he's eating some cheese danishes while everyone else is eating GMOs and crickets. But this says, this article says Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks as he seeks research funds. Bill Gates warned that bioterrorism could be a bigger threat than naturally occurring epidemics. This is what Bill Gates said, not me, not Hoff. I'm just reading this article, this platform. I'm trying to save my ass right now. So, this was from, like I said, last November. Funny. Bill Gates has warned governments to prepare for smallpox terror attacks. So let me get to this next article. I gotta find this here because I'm tying this in, weaving you that tapestry right now. It all ties together. I thought I had this on there. I know I do. I just got too many dang tabs up. It's become a problem. Here we go. I found it. Like I said, too many tabs up. I knew I had it. Cheers to y'all bosses for sticking with me here, being patient. So this article is from November 24th, a couple weeks after that last article that I just showed you. Not from the same website, obviously, not the Independent. Thank goodness. This one might be a little bit more trustworthy than that one. Even though if what they're saying about the Gil Bates stuff, it's kind of scary. But this one says, what a coincidence. Merck facility after Gil Bates warns of smallpox terror attacks. Now, if you look this up again after this, you'll see the fact checks that say this is not true. There's no links between. There were never even any vials ever. There's no links to Gil Bates or that these even existing. It's all just conspiracy theory. I'll let you make up your own minds. That's what I do here at Hoffcast. But this says Gil Bates on November 9th warned that governments must prepare. We just went over that. He said he calls it philanthropy. Of course, that's what he always does. Coincidentally, after Bates' comment on smallpox BT on November 17th, 2021, investigation of the FBI at the CDC and CDC prevention found questionable vials labeled smallpox in a freezer at a Merck facility outside Philadelphia, according to an alert sent to Department of Homeland Security leadership. Just sitting out there, some vials of, a very deadly disease. I mean, we all had our. Do we have smallpox jabs? I don't know. Are we trying to? Who knows? The frozen vials labeled smallpox. Convenient enough. Who knows if this is true or not, but this is what I'm telling you. Were incidentally discovered by a laboratory worker while cleaning out a freezer in a facility that conducts research in Pennsylvania. Remember that. Pennsylvania, remember that. Smallpox, a disease caused by the variola virus, is considered so deadly that only 2 labs in the world are authorized to source samples of the virus, including one in Russia and the other at the CDC in Atlanta, and the presence of smallpox vials in this facility is highly questionable. Is it? It was then, maybe back in November. I wonder how questionable it is now. And call me crazy here, but check this out. I'm sure if you haven't heard about this, maybe this isn't the first one article to go from. Missing lab monkeys found after truck crash in guess where? Pennsylvania. Huh. Isn't that a coincidence? Some monkeys being transported by truck to Florida became loose after the truck collided with another vehicle. Now, this says it's going to Florida. I don't know. So, 2 vehicles collided. This truck fell over and a bunch of monkeys fell out. Why? I don't know. Why monkeys are you're just transporting monkeys. These are also test monkeys, by the way. It says authorities have finally accounted for all the cynomolgus macaque monkeys that went missing after a truck transporting them to a lab crashed on Friday. Macaques. Most of the missing monkeys were found the day of the crash, but one remained missing well into Saturday. It is unclear to which lab the monkeys were being taken, but the species is often used in medical research. I don't know if they account for them. Well, I saw an article where they didn't. Apparently, this lady. I didn't find that one article, I don't think, but this lady touched one of them, and now she's getting sick. Make sure I got my bases covered. Pickup truck with an enclosed trailer carrying 100 monkeys was traveling to a laboratory in Florida. Montour County, Pennsylvania. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the artist Harry Chapin, but he had a song called, 30,000 Pounds of Bananas. It's about this banana truck. Whoa! holy crap, I just thought of something. So he had this song it was a long song. He told stories in his songs, and there was a song about this truck crashing in Scranton, Pennsylvania that had like 30,000 pounds of bananas, and they went everywhere. What? This happened in Pennsylvania. Monkeys love bananas. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Probably just a coincidence there. But that's funny if you ask me. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry if you're not familiar. I'm old. Harry Chapin, he did Cats in the Kettle and the Silver Spoon. He did that song. But he did that other song about the bananas and a crash with all these bananas in this truck on a Pennsylvania highway near Scranton back in the day. So it's a weird coincidence if you ask me. Three monkeys became loose as a result, and one of the drivers sustained minor injuries. State troopers were able to capture most of the monkeys on Friday. How did they find the other ones? Bananas? That spilled out from that song? I don't know. Yeah, it says anyone who sees or locates the monkey is asked not to approach. I wonder why. Probably because they got some crazy syphilis or something. I don't know. So what? I don't know. What do you think? I just think it all kind of ties in together a little bit too conveniently. It's kind of weird if you ask me. So this one says they've all been accounted for. It's just so weird. Says the shipment of monkeys was en route to a CDC-approved quarantine facility. Why? I mean, why were they shipping these monkeys? What were they for? What? I mean, do you think you'd have, I don't know, do it by plane or something? It's so weird. That makes me scared. I'm out there driving on the highways too, you know. Who knows how many of these trucks got crazy diseased monkeys in them? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what they got in them. They could have all kinds of crazy diseased primates in those things. One of them tips over. Next thing you know, it's like Jumanji, and you got these things all over your car, and you don't know what to do. And it's the next outbreak. You're patient zero in the next outbreak. Just driving down the road like that video I showed earlier. One of those trucks in the snow, gets a bunch of snow thrown on them and jackknives, and all the monkeys just jump out. And next thing you know, you're patient zero. It's easy as that nowadays. So, I wanted to find that one story. Well, I hope you just take my word on it. You can find it. It's out there about the lady who allegedly came into contact with one of the monkeys. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it. Here's to you all. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Glad to see you. Buford T. Just says smallpox was a terrible disease. On average, 3 out of every 10 people who got it died. That's terrible. It's not like what we're dealing with today, in my opinion. Here we go. This one's up to date. This is from 2 hours ago. Let me show this article here on that lady. I'll try to back myself up here. So this one says, woman at scene of Pennsylvania monkey truck crash falls ill, got an eye full of monkey saliva that has caused a reaction. Peter says, how the hell do you get an eye full of monkey saliva? What? That's gross. That's so gross. How's that happen? Is that one of them little bastards right there? Is that an actual photo of it, or is that just like a photo from a monkey somewhere else? I mean, it is in like a pine tree. You don't often see a monkey in a pine tree. Might be legit. Yeah, you hardly see a monkey in a pine tree. A woman first on the scene of last week's lab monkey truck crash in PA has fallen ill, according to reports. The Daily Mail reports woman Michelle Fallon, who lives near Danville, is now suffering symptoms after one of the macaque monkeys hissed in her face. Oh, it hissed at her. Okay, so that's how she got the monkey spit in her eye. Interesting enough. That's a 1 in a million shot right there. The magic loogie. On her Facebook page, of course, and in interviews, Fallon said she suddenly developed a cough, runny nose, and pink eye. The day following the accident, the pink eye became so bad she sought emergency room treatment at Geisinger Medical Center in Danville. The Daily Mail report. And here's her Twitter, of course. Here's the fear mongering right here, everyone. The old Twitter. Gotta give it to them. They're good. They're good at just getting the word out there. I don't know. Maybe this woman really did get hissed at and monkey spit in her eye. I don't know. I'm no monkey spit expert. This lady says, "I'm worried. People think I have a monkey virus. I was behind the truck carrying the monkeys. When he got off the exit, he kept on going and turned to get back on 80. And when the dump truck hit the back of the trailer and both went down into where the trees were." She's very bad at this, the typing. I'm just reading it. I thought the debris, not the way to spell it, on the road came from the dump truck at first. So I pull over and run to check on the driver. I was worried they were hurt. The driver said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you." I told him he didn't hit me, that I was behind him and I was worried. I thought Twitter was like 240 characters or some shit. The driver said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you." I told him he didn't hit me, that I was behind him and I was worried that people were hurt. Driver asked about his trailer. I said the back end was fine, but from where I was, I couldn't see the front of it. I then noticed someone's legs between the front seats. I asked if he was okay, as he was hurt. I told him to stay in the truck until the ambulance came. I didn't notice that he had a white sun visor that covered the passenger side windows. Then a retired firefighter came down to help. So I walked back into the road. The person who was on the phone with 911 said he's seen a cat run into the woods and that there's cats inside the crates. So I went to check on the cats. I pulled back a green cloth. I could see its brown fur. So I said, "Kitty, kitty." I stuck my finger inside to pet it. It made like a grunting noise. So I got a closer look. I'm doing my best to proofread this on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. And a monkey pops up and hissed at my face. At the point, I told the guy who was on the phone with 911 that they were not cats, but monkeys. So I walked around to check on the monkeys to make sure they were okay and not hurt. And also walk inside the trailer because there were crates inside. But the floorboard was giving out, and the guy who called 911 said it could roll back, so I got out. And then I walk around more. I noticed that one crate was completely broken. One was missing the front end of it. The crate is divided into 3 sections. It holds 3 monkeys each. Each crate had 3 monkeys in it. That's why I said 4 monkeys were missing. The crates were tipped over, so I helped turn them over. I did notice that one crate was broken enough that one monkey could stick his hand out. If she only had one eye, I get why she's typing this bad. I walked over to see it. He looked very curious. He was cute and looked scared. So I walked over to see. I then told the police that could possibly get out. I asked if they had anything to hold it together, blah, blah, blah. He said he did. I even asked about using duct tape. Then I saw the driver. The driver told me the monkeys were not quarantined yet and not to touch anything. That's interesting. The driver then told me that the monkeys were not quarantined yet and to not touch anything. I wonder what they got. I wonder if they've been testing on these monkeys. I wonder who's been testing them. Excuse me. Make sure you get your boosters. So I walked around, gave my info. At the point, I thought they were zoo monkeys going from one zoo to another. So I walked around, gave my info to the police. This is a very, very detailed tweet. This is the longest tweet I've ever read in my life. Holy moly. I found out they were lab test monkeys. So I went home. I called my aunt to tell her about it because she lives where the monkeys ran off to, and she has a dog. I never wanted her dog to get attacked. I went to a birthday party. We talked about the monkeys. My sister said, "Oh my gosh, I don't need all this." Then I hear they don't want anyone near the monkeys. So because I did try to pet one hissed in my face. I called the state police to ask questions. I was told to meet Corporal Spade near the crash site. I asked if he can just call me. The lady said that I had to go to him, so I went there to see him. He was not there. Another officer was. There's a white car there. 3 people get out. I thought it was people that were helping with the monkeys, but it was news people. Officer said Spade was on his way. Spinnebeck doctor from the CDC was with him. Interesting, since these were going to a place in the CDC and health department. The next day, I spoke with a lady from the CDC. I was told that I was low risk for exposure and what symptoms to look for, because the symptoms are like flu symptoms, wherever you heard that before, and being flu season. If I got to see my doctor and have them rule out the cord first, if that came back negative, they will do further tests. I told her my family has been sick because of the monkeys. When I started getting pink eye-like symptoms, runny nose and cough, temperature 99.1. So to be safe, went to Geisinger, showed the doctor my letter and told him, showed the doctor my letter and told him what the symptoms were, because the monkey did hiss at me, and there was monkey poop. Watch out. And I had an open cut. Oh shit. Where I was not sure where it came from. They wanted to start rabies shot and medication to prevent anything from happening. Holy crap. According to the CDC, the species commonly spreads through herpes virus B through saliva, feces, or urine. Oh boy. PETA wants an investigation into the incident. Yeah. Saying the lady got an eye full of monkey saliva that has caused a reaction. She's now on antiviral drugs and medication to protect against rabies. Or I don't know. Hope it's not rabies, but who knows what could be. PETA fears other people in the area could have been exposed, adding in this latest news release. Feces and urine from the terrified monkeys were reportedly smeared across the highway as gross, as crates that weren't strapped in as required tumbled from the truck. What a mess. Imagine having to clean that shit up. The Centers for CDC should be scrambling to ensure that numerous people who were at the scene aren't in danger. The Atlanta-based CDC is providing technical assistance to state police in Pennsylvania. Do you remember that? Atlanta? That's where the other facility was. They're allegedly going to Florida, but the Atlanta based CDC is helping, even though that was the other one. That's very, very interesting. Anyone who had contact with one of the primates, which were headed for the lab, was being advised to contact a health provider. Fallon was driving directly behind the truck carrying 100 lab monkeys when it crashed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Could happen to any of us. Could happen to any of us if this is true. I mean, seems like it, or who knows? That tweet was so long, it almost seemed like a dang movie script. And just the way that you see the labs that were allowed to do testing, the one in Russia and the one in Atlanta, it's pretty funny. Let me get to the chat for a minute here. Shane says, "Sup, guys? Hey, glad you're here, bud. Hope you're having a good night. Having a pretty good night myself so far. Still got a lot to go over. An hour in already. Holy moly. Didn't realize that. Still got a lot to go over tonight." Buford T. Justice said, "There's no way that we came from monkeys." I tend to believe with you, sir. I tend to believe with you on that. Shane says, "We are fucked." Well, what are we going to do about it, man? I don't know. That's a thing. I sit here and moan and groan all day about this stuff, but where's the real where's the line drawn in the sand, where real action must be taken? I don't know what that real action even is. I don't think anything should be more than peaceful, but we're not seeing a lot of other tactics working. Not calling for anything like that. Not at all. Hoff's not saying. I'm just saying I don't know what the real answer is in order to not be fucked. So, we got that one over with. Speaking of effed, we'll get into this a little bit. This one is civil war about to break out in Europe as 50,000 protesters lose it in Brussels, attack police. says police fired water cannons and thick clouds of tear gas Sunday in Brussels to disperse people protesting mandates and government restrictions that aim to curb the fast-spreading sickness. Police said the protest in the Belgian capital drew an estimated 50,000 people, some traveling from France, Germany, and other countries to take part. Protesters yelled liberty as they marched and had some violent confrontations with police. Video showed black-clad protesters attacking a building used by the European Union's diplomatic service, hurling projectiles at its entrance and smashing windows. Let's check out this video here. So, I mean, some people, I guess, are taking action. They got, like some actual balls, unlike me. They got their Captain America shields there. They got clubs, Captain America shields. I mean, this is Brussels, I'm just saying. Oh! Dang. You love to see it. I mean, you hate to see the police and the Gestapo coming down on people, but you love to see people standing up. Dang, it's just war, man. It's just, we're already in a war. Like, just, see, like, dang, we're on all-out war. We've been at war now for like a few years. We haven't named it yet. I think looking back in the history books, we'll name it something. Corvid Wars? I don't know. Yeah, it's terrible. It's crazy. Let's look at another article concerning the protests. I'll get to the chat real quick here. Buford says this was a sight to see. Helmets required. Were you there? Were you actually? That's crazy if you were there. Or at one of those protests. That's crazy. Fifth said I had an AI dream or whatever that made me have a bowel movement and then carry over to a wave. I'm not trying to laugh at you, man. That's crazy. Just the way you put it was funny. Maybe I can talk to you more about that later in the after party after the show, but because that's a very interesting story. Buford says England is standing down with the U.S. Well, I wanted to show this. I want to show this article. This one right here. I don't like the way it was written because I read it earlier, but I like the photos and I can argue with it. So fair enough, we'll do that. I don't like to just show it things that I guess I agree with all the time. That way, I can make a case against stupidity on occasion rather than just agree with people who are smarter than I am most of the time, pretty much like all the time. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you watching the Hoffcast tonight. If you're just joining in, if you haven't yet, like I said, if you haven't subscribed or like it, I'm just plugging for a second. Please give me the old like, give me the subscribe button, even ring the bell so you know I'm doing new videos. Last one went pretty well. I appreciate anyone who watched it. So this one is this is by the Washingtonian. I don't like this place after reading this article. It's videos of the rally in DC. And there's tons of people there. And down in this article, they're trying to downplay it a little bit, and that's fine. Do whatever you want. But I see the pictures myself, and I see a lot of people out there. It says opponents of rules gathered in Washington Sunday. The rally dubbed "Defeat the Rules" in American Homecoming received a permit for 20,000 to 25,000 participants, but didn't draw anywhere near that number. See, that's how they want to downplay it. But look at all the people who are there. It said most estimates put attendance at a couple thousand people. Well, you can't. Still, that's a couple thousand people. That's pretty awesome. Just because they had a permit for 20 to 25,000, thousands still showed up. They're trying to downplay it, make it seem like it's not a big deal. Said the crowd heard speakers from an A team of, well, I can't read this completely. You can read it if you want right there. Well, look at the I like these ladies. I like these ladies. I like this picture right here. It's got Biden at the bottom chanting, and it's got there's two crooks right there. Sorry if I ever put this up audio, you can't see this, but there's a lot of stuff on here I can't really say. We're just looking at videos at the moment. And we got Proud Boys there. Proud American, free to choose. I like that. Looks like a lovely lady right there on the right. This woman says real journalism is dead. And she knocks out NBC, MSNBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS. And if I know I can't find the other picture, but there's a picture where she's showing the other side of this sign. And it says, journalism is not dead. Hoffcast.com. Watch Hoffcast live on Tuesdays. That's what the other side of the sign says. That's true. Look at this guy. He's a Uncle Sam kind of guy with the syringe through his head. He's holding his chains. Poor Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam was propaganda too, by the way, so I don't really feel bad for him. I mean, I love the United States of America, but Uncle Sam was propaganda. I like these pictures, though. You know, there's the Washington Monument there on the right. That's an occult illuminate, kind of like a Freemason symbol, very phallic symbol that's used a lot in this. More on that later. I'd like to do some deep dives on that in some podcasts, which I still haven't got around to yet because every time I try to do one, more and more information is available, and I just don't know how to put it all together. So I apologize for that. It says, Fauci, you're killing me, Smalls. Allegedly. My God is greater than Corvid. I like that one. Just say no to the next hollow. See, these people are smart people. I like these people. I'd like to meet these people. I'd buy a beer for them. Cheers to these people. Cheers to them. Mainstream media would be out there trying to put them down, trying to make it seem like it's not a big thing. They're out there. We're out there. Maybe one day I'll be out there. This lady actually kind of looks like a little bit of a Reed kind of person. So I don't agree with that, but I'm glad you're on the right side. Here's another one on that. This one's Brussels police clash with protesters. See, look at all those people. They're trying to downplay it, but seriously, look at all those people. That's insane. Look at all the signs. There's a lot of passion out there. A lot of true patriots. I don't care if you're not from America. If you're standing up, you're a patriot. Some people say you're a nationalist because it's now got a negative connotation to it or something. I don't think nationalist is a negative connotation just because you don't want a global order, You want to, because that's the problem. That's why a lot of these countries fails, because they don't have borders. They let everyone in, get destroyed from the inside out. Simple as that. I'm not phobe or anything like that whatsoever. I love everyone individually, or I hate everyone individually. Depends on what kind of person you are as a person. But you got to have at least some kind of, rules about where you live. It's like, if you don't believe in a wall, then why does your house have a fence? Tom McDonald lyrics. It's funny, the hypocrisy of it all. People don't see the forest from the trees. They can't tell what's the bigger picture is. All they think is they're standing up against the man when they're actually standing up for the man. So it's a crazy time we're seeing right now. They say mass psychosis, mass formation psychosis is basically what's going on with all the propagation, which was allowed by former President Obama. He signed a law in that allowed propaganda because he knew one day he would be pulling the strings behind the scenes, allegedly. So, anyways, a little bit of a tangent there. Police in Brussels fire water. Yeah, we already been over that. Here's some pictures. It's all around the world though, not just there. I got another one here. A lot of people. I just want to show you guys just how many people are actually standing up, because I love it. I love it so much. I love seeing people do this. I want to know how to get involved in this, because I need to myself. Never thought of myself as one of those guys, but I might have to, So this is in Budapest. Oh, that reminds me of Black Widow. Hawkeye and Black Widow always talk about Budapest. I never saw the movie, so I don't know if they ever went into that. It's from the 16th, I believe. Yeah, of January. Over 1,000 people marched in Budapest protesting rules at a rally organized by, it says the far right. Go fuck yourself. Go after yourself, That's the way to do to try to discount anything, obviously. But there's real people out there, real hardworking people who want to keep their jobs, want to keep their lives without all this crap, which has been campaigning on a fierce anti-rule message ahead of the April 3rd elections over there. Rules should not be there. We don't tolerate blackmail. That's what it is blackmail. That's one of the slogans of the rally. Slogies. I am not a criminal. Enough of the dictatorship. Hungary's national government has made the core of cures only for rules only for teachers and healthcare workers, with 10 million people and 40,000. I'm not going to read numbers because they move the goalpost on numbers so much you can't read them anymore. You really can't. Because they change the numbers every day. If you say one number one day, the next day it's fake news. They can cap your ass on that here on these platforms. So no numbers. You can read them yourself if you're seeing this though. Do you see this top over here on the right? I want that top. It's cool looking, but it's probably like $400 or something. Anyways, back to see the distractions. That's how they get you. I'm gonna be looking up that top after the stream though. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Mine too. Just kidding. I don't need that top. New infections of I can't really read much of this. I really can't because Daddy's got Steve Reich won. But yeah, you're seeing these protests all over. And I love to see it. It's good stuff. Buford T. Justice says, cheers to you, bud. Speaking of, I'm gonna fill my cup a little bit here. Feel free to do the same if you're watching. And thank you for watching again. I always appreciate anyone who watches the Hoffcast. It's my favorite night of the week. I look forward to it. I have a lot of fun doing this. I learn a lot myself, and I get to talk to some pretty good people. Excuse me. So let's continue. What's the next phase we should get in here? What all we got left going on? Yeah, we'll look at this one here. Why not? I don't want to completely get into the stuff after this. Buford T. just says, Rolling Rock, drinking Austin Brewworks IPA. Well, yeah, I try not to show that any more that I'm having any kind of beverage on the stream, but good eye, sir, good eye. I don't do much of the IPA anymore. They dry me out. But good on you. It'll get you there for sure. But yeah, I found some Rolling Rock. It's getting really hard to find. But cheers to Rolling Rock and that. Yeah. Hopefully they can stay afloat. Because I found some of their drinks tonight. Can't find them anymore. Most places just don't have it. I think it's all due to the angry video game nerd. He just completely sold them all out there. Everyone wants to drink them now because of him. So this is an aggravating one right here. A little bit aggravating because you see these people, these elites, and step up and say crazy stuff like this. And you might have heard about this one today, last day or so. I need to stop saying that. Of course, I'm reading the news. Probably you've heard of it. If I'm reading the news, you probably, there's a good chance you probably saw it. Hoff, get with it, dude. Neil Young tells Spotify it can't have both him and Joe Rogan anymore. Oh, this town ain't big enough for the two of us, he says. He's only hurting himself, I believe, because I think that Joe Rogan is kind of killing it. So, I don't know. It seems like kind of a childish thing. Like, why would you? It's not like just because I'm on YouTube and someone who disagrees with me on is on also on YouTube that I should just say like, no, one of us has to be off of there. I will not be on the same platform as another person who disagrees with me on things. This is propaganda once again. This is gaslighting. This is idiocracy. This is at its finest. And Neil Young, he's never been a smart guy. Music, in my opinion, has always sucked. Couldn't sing. Miner for a heart of gold. Shut up, dude. And you're not rocking in the free world, are you? You're not. I know a thing or two about music. I actually want to talk more about music and rock music and stuff lately, and about like the imagery and the just the cult symbolism and stuff behind that, and even with old music, but current music as well. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Something I really want to talk about. Buford says, I like Neil Young's music. I just can't stand him for bowing down at the altar of the Jabbo. Yeah, I know, man. You can like his music. That's fine. Everyone has different tastes. Like, I'm not a Bob Dylan guy, even though, that guy's not that cool either. But a lot of people like him. It's just not my thing. I actually have I'm not going to lie. A lot of the bands that I like, most people are either like, not my kind of thing, or I haven't heard of them. One or the other. Shane says, bye. No one listens to that for anyway. Well, Buford does, but he doesn't agree with them. So at least he's got that going, I don't listen to him. He had like way too many albums. He tried to start his own like audio device, I think, there a few years back. I heard him on Mark Maron's podcast, which I do not listen to anymore. But he was always one way, but he started to go really one way. But so let's get into like the more of the details of this. He says musician wants streaming platform to address fake stuff on stuff. If you can read that, fake. I can't really read all this stuff, but if you're watching, you can look at it. Neil Young has threatened to remove his music from Spotify because he believes the streaming company enables podcaster Joe Rogan to spread fake info about certain things. In an email to his record label, Young said Spotify has a responsibility to mitigate the spread of misinformation on its platform. I want you to let Spotify know immediately today in capitals. Oh, you mean business? You're Neil Young, you need business. I want all my music off their platform, he wrote. They can have Rogan or Young on both. What a child. What a child, dude. This guy's like 80 years old, still acting like a child. Said Young, whose hits include Heart of Gold, Harvest Moon, and counts 6 million monthly listeners. And not bad. I mean, I guess Rogan's at like 10 million, so I guess that's not bad if that's true. Is that just how many followers he has? I don't know. It's the first major. I like this part of the article. Actually, I hate this part of the article, but it's very telling because it's kind of pushing people. It's kind of like whistleblowing. It says Young is the first major. It says, okay, get this, is the first major artist to publicly threaten to leave the platform over its association with Rogan, who hosts the most popular podcast on the app. Whose side are they going to go on? He's making them more money. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they're going to go with Rogan. But did you see what they said there? The first major artist to publicly threaten to leave the platform. So they're saying they're trying to get other artists to also leave, is what I'm seeing here. Or either kind of whistleblow. What do they say? Like dog whistle, not whistleblow, dog whistle to these other people to, hey, if we all leave, it'll make a big enough impact to where it'll mean more money than just Joe Rogan's podcast. So we can take them down together if we all threaten to leave, even though we won't really leave. Even though I don't think Neil Young owns his music, so I don't know if he has much say in this. Says since spending $100 million to bring $100 million to bring Rogan to Spotify as it aggressively pushed to expand its podcast offerings, the company has repeatedly come under fire of the American commentators' content. I thought that was the whole reason he went to Spotify. I thought that was like the whole deal was like Rogan wants to go to Spotify to get away from YouTube. That way he can say what he wants to say. And now people are mad about that. Well, just leave then. Obviously, it's not for you anymore because he's getting more views than you are. I don't think you're the winner here, Mr. Neil Young. Someone spelled it, I saw in the chat earlier, Kneel, Neil Young. You know, like you kneel. I thought that was a good one. Young's letter was a response to a similar podcast, which Rogan interviewed Mr. Baldwin, a controversial virologist who researched cures and is now skeptical of them. He was actually a huge part in making it. On the podcast, Maloney told Rogan that hospitals are financially incentivized to report on things being caused by sickness. That's just what he said. So Neil Young doesn't really care that people are out there maybe possibly disagreeing with his point of reality, his view of reality, because he gets all of his reality either from the people who pay him or from the media that he watches. A group of doctors and scientists, they never say who. It's always just a group of doctors and scientists. It's BS. How credible are they? You know, that just always makes it sound credible. A group of doctors and scientists earlier this month called on Spotify to moderate misinfo on its platform, arguing that Rogan has spread false claims. Mass info of this scale have extraordinarily dangerous ramifications. Well, it looks like more people are paying attention to him than anyone else over there. So I think that's the real issue. I think that's the real issue, is that you're losing control. Mainstream media is losing control. Who's one of the guys who is so, the mainstream media saying, who are one of the people that we could try to take down Rogan on Spotify with? Who's someone who will definitely bend the knee or even maybe kneel to the young? Oh my gosh. I got it, guys. Neil Young. Holy crap, let's get this guy on the phone right now. We'll try to take Rogan down. Oh, you can't take Rogan down, bro. You can't take Rogan down. That guy's here to stay. Then it talks about AJ and stuff. I just think I really don't like when bands get overly politicized. It tears me apart. You know, I don't appreciate that. Buford says Neil Design. He also says BS alert. That's for sure, man. That's for sure. It's all payoffs. I think this stuff's coming down from a different level. We think that these people are making their own opinions, decisions. They are out there to make money, to be able to afford their mortgages on their mansions or whatever they got going on, to give money to the generations of kids they want to set up in order to promote more propaganda to us. The only way they can do that is if they stay in the club that's funding them and to basically agree with everything that they're saying. And it's sick to see, you know. You can like someone's art, I guess, and not like the artist, but for me, it's hard. It's hard. A lot of people can say they can separate the art from the artist. I truly cannot. It's hard for me, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think I am, because in my opinion, the art comes from the artist. It's inspired by their views. So you can enjoy it, maybe like if you enjoy a melody or something like that, but when you miss the point of maybe what they're trying to say, I don't know. I mean, do what you want, enjoy what you want in life. But for me, once I find out someone's a freaking idiot, it's hard for me to enjoy their art or their content. It really is. That's just for me. You can have your own opinions. Buford asks, who's my favorite band? My favorite band's Rush. Right there. I also enjoy Starset and Coheed and Cambria. Led Zeppelin, Avenged Sevenfold, Mastodon, a lot of metal bands. I like some Day Show. I just a lot of just anything that kind of rocks. Big fan of Oliver Tree. Different kind of taste. I just want something that has a lot of energy to it. That's what I like. I love Cardi B. Oh, Cardi B is my favorite. Lady Gaga. Probably the greatest artist of our generation. Definitely Illuminate confirmed. Here's... This is something that actually happened. I wanted to share this because where I grew up in southern Ohio, I used to watch this news, the tri-state area news growing up, WSAZ. And this was something that happened actually like last week. This is from like today, but this happened, I think, a few days ago. I can't remember what the date was. But this reporter from back then was, there's Tim Ear on the left. I know that guy because he's been doing the news there for literally like 25 years. And then this lady, I think it was like her last week there. And it says in Charleston, West Virginia was an eventful live shot for WSAZ's Tori Yorgi. What a name. Tori Yorgi. Wednesday night, so it was last Wednesday, so it was almost a week, hit by a vehicle on the air during the 11 p.m. newscast. Holy crap. Yorgi was just getting ready to begin talking when when an SUV slammed into the side of her body. She says, just watch it. By the way, she's fine. She's fine. So you're not watching like a death or anything. She's fine.
And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
Dang! At least it wasn't going that fast, you know.
Car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good. I'm okay. Yeah, you know, that's live TV for you. It's all good. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am so glad I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay. We're all good. This is, you know what? It's, one
sure
woman.
you're
She gets up and
We're
keeps
good, Tim.
doing the
Man,
news.
You are so sweet, and you are okay.
This lady's a legend,
all
bro.
Good. You know,
Gets hit by a car,
Lord.
keeps going the news.
You know, it's my last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped
specifically
in,
to me, Tim.
were you bumped down
Cheers
low,
to
Tori,
her.
or were you hit up high? I couldn't really tell from the looking.
Oh, I don't even. Do you know if I was bumped
Maybe
down
bleeding
low or up
internally.
high,
I just
sir?
saw you
I
disappear.
don't even know.
Yeah,
I
she
don't
was
even
all
know,
right.
Tim. My whole life just flashed before my eyes. But this is live TV and everything's okay. I thought
Poor
I was in
lady.
a safe spot,
Poor
but
girl.
clearly we might need to move the camera over.
Yeah, I'd
So
imagine
let
you
me
should
do
probably
that
move the
while we
camera.
have it.
Now, just to set the
Oh,
stage
you
for
know?
you once again, Tori's in an area right now there's been a water main break, so there are emergency vehicles around there, and a lot of times what we have seen in those kind of
Yeah.
situations are
Let's rewind
when
this for a
emergency
second.
vehicles are
Watch his
around,
face
There's a lot of
when she.
confusion from people about drivers about where to go.
Watch his face now.
Got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you
I'm
on
okay.
TV, Tori.
Woo, we're all good.
That's a first for you on TV.
I'm okay. Yeah, you know, that's
Tori.
live TV for you. It's all good. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am
Like,
so
see,
glad
that's
I'm
just
okay.
not the first
You're
time.
okay. You're
She got hit
okay.
in
We're
college
all
by a
good.
car too.
This is,
Stay on the road.
you know what?
By the way, still a
It's
legend
more
for
than
continuing.
Hey, Tori.
We're good, Tim. Ma'am,
sure you're
you
okay?
are so sweet and you are okay. It is all good. You know, oh Lord.
So you
know, it's my last.
So yeah, that's back. That's the news that I watched back when growing up. There was this guy named the Duct Tape Bandit. Maybe I'll find that for you sometime. Maybe I'll try to find it right now. Let me see if it's still on the internet. The Duct Tape Bandit. It's funny stuff. Yeah, we got to hear. So yeah, where I'm from is kind of a wild place. You know, things like this happen. Buford T. Justice says, I like Waylon Jennings. Not bad, not bad. You're a big fan of the Doors as well. You know, Jim Morrison's father is in the CIA, I think. That's fine. A lot of crazy songs. I also like the Doors. Shane says she's a champ, though. I agree. And Buford says adrenaline has kicked in and she is worried about a drug test. Well, yeah, she probably had her just finished her drug test, for her new job since it was her last week, and she decided maybe partake. Maybe she is a little worried about it. So this right here, this is an incredible story. This is from way back when I was a kid. I guess I wasn't really a kid. I guess okay. I felt like I was a kid, but it's from 2007. This is the Duct Tape Bandit. This is just an off-the-wall story out of nowhere. Shane says she's just thankful she's not under the front end. Definitely. That could have been way worse on live TV. Definitely could have been way worse on live TV. Could have been, that could have been way more viral than it was. So this is the Duct Tape Bandit, everyone. I'll set this up for you. So basically, this guy tried to rob a convenience store, and his disguise was to wrap duct tape around his head, and he was arrested. He was just trying to steal coins, rolls of coins or something. And so he wrapped a bunch of duct tape around his head as a disguise. He got arrested. They pulled the tape off his head, and they said, he pleads his case. He said, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm not the Duct Tape Bandit. You hear me? I ain't no Duct Tape Bandit. Just watch this. This is hilarious. It's from 2007.
Couldn't believe what he saw.
I mean, he probably had every opportunity to put a brown paper poke over his head and poke holes in it, or a plastic bag, but duct tape. I mean, it's just unbelievable. People don't think this really happened.
I believe this is Ashland,
But
Kentucky.
it did, and it gets even more unbelievable. During a jailhouse interview, the suspect said police have the wrong guy.
They call you the Duct Tape Bandit. That's not you?
Look at me. Do I look like a Duct Tape Bandit, baby? I'm not no Duct Tape Bandit. You hear me? Live one-on-one, Ashland, Kentucky. You know this is not me. Now look, do the math, do the homework, man.
He's entertaining. Police say the suspect was somewhat lucky. Apparently,
Oh
the bandit
my
was
gosh.
sweating so much the duct tape didn't quite stick. But of course, he's not all that lucky. Police say they have enough evidence to make the charges stick. But
They call you the duct tape
charges
bandit.
but
That's not you.
Look at me. Do I look like a duct tape bandit, baby? Now look, do the math, do the homework, man.
He ain't got duct tape on his face anymore. It's definitely not him. Do I look like the duct tape bandit now that I don't have duct tape on my face? I ain't no duct tape bandit. You got the wrong guy. You need the guy who's got the duct tape on his face. You got the wrong guy. Oh, yeah, that's an old one, man. I don't even know how many people know about that, but that is hilarious. Hey, let me see here. Buford says tape face here. Let me welcome Bobby Scarsdale. Says the only drug is Jesus. I do agree with you, sir, even though I'm guilty of doing other things on occasion. But I do agree with you. Find Jesus, or find whatever makes you happy in your own world of spirituality. Really, whatever that comes to you that makes the world a better place for you. Let me see what we got still going here. Shane says I didn't do it. I ain't no duct tape bandit. Hear me? Do the math, do the homework. It ain't me. I might be in custody, but you got the wrong guy. No duct tape on my face. Do I look like a duct tape bandit to you? Ashland, Kentucky. Yep, been there quite a few times. Their mall sucks. They got a Cheddar's over there, but their mall sucks. Let's see what we got here. There's a bunch of stuff I wanted to get into. It's going to be a big thing. We might as well just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Why not? Because we've got to get to it eventually, right? Let's take a look at this article. This one's New York Post. Putin's playing chess in Ukraine and Biden steps in as pawn. Wow. Look at this guy checking his watch like he knows, like he actually. Oh boy, look at the time. I can't take any more questions. See you guys. My earpiece just cut out. I can't take any more questions. Stupid son of a bitch. We'll get to that in a minute. President Brandon's first press conference in 10 months on the eve of his inauguration's anniversary made news, but not the kind he wanted. Really? I thought that was satire for a second, but then I remember we're at the New York Post here. 10 months? Really? First press conference, and I mean, he's done some YouTube stuff, but he's been in other countries doing stuff. But I guess, is that right? Like, that's crazy, man. First press conference in 10 months. Wow. On the eve of his inauguration's anniversary, he made news, but not the kind he wanted. Asked about Russia's possible invasion of Ukraine. Hint why I named the stream that. NATO's lack of unity and the likely failure of economic sanctions to deter Vladimir Putin. Biden answered that the idea that NATO is not going to be united, I don't buy. It depends on what Russia does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion, and then we end up having a fight about what we do, etc. I think I know the real reason he wants to protect Ukraine. We'll get into that soon. In a stroke, Biden demonstrated that he didn't understand his own Ukraine policy, undercut Kyiv's government and people, and handed Moscow an engraved invitation to make a minor incursion into Ukraine. That was bad enough, but further answers made his position even more unintelligible. He's unintelligible as always. He really is. But he said, and so I got to make sure everyone is on the same page as we move along. But it depends on what Putin does as to the exact to what extent we're going to be able to get total unity on the on the NATO front. So it looked like a little bit of a slip up there, as always. A little bit of Freudian slip up, man. It's like he's always calling Kamala the president, like over and over and over. You can find like 15 to 20 videos, at least, maybe even more than that, of Brandon calling Kamala the president, or calling it the Harris-Biden or Brandon administration. You know, Biden was correct that Putin was calculating what the immediate and the long-term consequences of what Russia would be. Right now, Putin has the initiative and a broad range of options. America and the West are reactive and disunited, as Biden all but admitted. Putin is following a strategic playbook encompassing the entire former Soviet Union and its Warsaw Pact allies, grounded on his 2005 precept that the demise of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. The United States and NATO are answering the strategic threat only tactically. The West focuses on avoiding imminent hostilities, whereas Putin is, I don't know why I keep saying Putin. I always want to say Putin. Is seeking enduring hegemony over former Soviet territories. The White House still fails to comprehend that Putin need not conduct all-out invasion of Ukraine to win significant new advantages. Seizing pro-Russian areas, leaving a rump independent Ukraine, or installing a Moscow-friendly government might be Putin's real goal, or he might make political or military moves elsewhere. In Belarus, Georgia, or Kazakhstan, for example, where the alliances seem completely unprepared. Even worse, Moscow is now suckering Washington into negotiations over security guarantees that weaken and divide NATO itself. That's crazy. Didn't a certain person get out of NATO, a certain orange man? And then someone signed, I believe, an executive order to get back in NATO, or something I had like that. I don't know. Don't call me anything. I'm just Hoff here. Just call me Hoff. NATO is not. Brandon said NATO is not going to take in Ukraine anytime in the next few decades. An astonishing, unforced error. George W. Bush was ready in April 2008 to fast-track Ukraine and Georgia as NATO members, but Germany and France objected 4 months later. George W., not a good guy. People want to think of him as a good guy now. Not a good guy. Never was a good guy. He was in the same club as all of them, with John Kerry, Skull and Bones. They had Fauci back in the day, back in the 80s. It's the same people over and over. It's not that they know anything or that they're experts. If you don't realize it now, by now, if you see those pictures, maybe you haven't, pictures of George Bush, George W. Bush, Clinton, all of them with Fauci, like back in the day, Fauci fighting the AIDS, the HIV thing back in the 80s. It's the same people. It's not that they're the best people or the most reliable people or the most dependable people. It's the same people controlling and wanting to control. I'm not sure if you get it yet. I get it. That's why I do this. Hopefully you're getting. I believe a lot of you do. I'm not talking down to you people who do get it. I'm not at all. A lot of my viewers do understand. A lot of you bosses out there do understand what's going on. By the way, if you haven't already, you bosses out there, give me a like. If you haven't already subscribed to this, subscribe to my show here. I do it every Tuesday. Get to my webpage, Hoffcast.com, and I can keep you updated on what's going on. You can find all my streams there. Let's get back into this, though. I appreciate you all. Cheers to you. The White House still fails to comprehend that Putin need not conduct an all-out invasion of Ukraine to win significant new advantages, seizing pro-Russian areas. I already read all that. My bad. I scrolled up. I thought that sounded familiar. Says Russia creates an artificial crisis, then graciously accedes to resolve it by accepting precisely the objective it sought in the first place. Brandon's response is totally backwards, signaling willingness to discuss restrictions on Ukraine's NATO candidacy and limitations on missile and troop dispositions near Russia's borders, all key Kremlin demands. This is a major error, which will only prompt further demands. Russia, a consistent violator of international commitments, is the aggressor, not NATO, which has always been a purely defensive alliance. Geographic, well, I guess NATO's never attacked anyone, right? Says the downward spiral. Playing small ball with Putin, as Biden is doing, will not durably protect Ukraine or other endangered states. Biden's inadequate and now incoherent policy is not deterring Russian military action. And timidity simply incentivizes Putin to increase his demands. Here's the risk. We risk a downward spiral of NATO concessions to avoid military conflict today, which will only increase its likelihood soon thereafter. Indeed, the situation may be so far gone, Putin inevitably emerges the winner. The last hope is that Brandon immediately reverses course and seizes the initiative and insists the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline never operate until Russian troops leave any country that does not want them. Urgently required are more weapons and more NATO troops, not to fight, but to train and exercise with Ukrainians, thereby increasing Moscow's uncertainty and risk. So doing, of course, requires strength from the Europeans, especially France and Germany. And they may well lack that. This is Putin's calculus, which Biden's statements in last week's negotiations did not change. Time is on Putin's side. I know that was a long one. Thanks for sticking with me on that. I'm going to tie it back around to some more stuff here in just a minute, for sure. Like I said, this is the big stuff from here. Let me see here what we got from the chat. A lot in the chat. Thank you. Buford says, I believe Putin is deadly serious and China is backing him. I think they're all dangerous. I think they're all dangerous. I really do. I think this is. I don't know if it's all planned or not. I do have some theories coming up here in the next couple segments, but I don't trust any of these people. It's a big club. We're not in it. Shane said, ended a war just to help start another. Attaboy, Brennan. Well, that was the thing, right? There's always got to be. They're trying to. Everything that's going down right now, from illnesses to shortages in supplies and foods, to high prices, inflation, high gas prices, just the overall fear. We're like, we can't play into this stuff anymore. We can't do this. We got to rise above it. There's no way that we can keep going down these roads and expect anything good for us to happen. And these wars are always funded for the wrong reasons. These troops sent out for the wrong reasons, at least nowadays. I don't believe it. I don't know if they ever were sent out for the right reasons completely. But at least there was a bit of pride back in the day, knowing that you might be fighting for your country for the right reasons or for freedom. Nowadays, we're not fighting for our freedoms outside of this country or inside of this country anymore. Really, I mean, we were showing the videos of the people protesting in other countries and also at D.C. here in America, but it's not the same as like a war going on in Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. getting involved. It's not like that. It's at all. That's just regular people saying like, hey, we want to keep being regular people, and y'all are starting to flatten us down with your big ass boot, we don't like it. But the media and all these people controlling these wars and all this fear-mongering propaganda, illnesses, everything, numbers, they don't want to hear from us because that goes against what they're trying to do, which is control and money and everything like that. I believe they're not winning completely. I think they're getting desperate. I don't think they're completely winning at this point. I think too many people are waking up. Too many people are seeing what's going on. Too many people, for lack of a better term, being red-pilled, A lot of people are seeing the deception, the lies of the media. Not just that, I think my biggest question personally is what is the top? Where's the top? Where does this all end? Who's really holding the strings of the puppets below? Because I don't even know if we know their names. We might know some of them, but I don't know if we know all of them. There's a lot of big families, generational wealth, Rothschilds, Soros. A lot of these people out there, they got too much money, too much control. Even Klaus Schwab, that you don't even know who they are, but they're pulling the strings and they're behind the scenes. No one even sees them as the enemy. Everyone sees either Trump as the enemy. I don't even think a lot of people even see Biden as an enemy, because a lot of people who see that know that Biden is not, allegedly, not even really calling his own shots or speaking his own words. He can barely speak off a teleprompter. So he's not writing what he's saying. It becomes very obvious to people, especially in this day and age, when a lot of things were taken away from them in the last couple of years, where they had a chance to look into these things where they hadn't before, or they could have just went more into the realm of binge watch Netflix or whatever people do, whatever normal people do, normies. I don't know. That's not the way I went. It's hard for me to watch TV anymore. I was a big Marvel fan, and I haven't watched any of the TV shows or the new movies. I saw Spider-Man. I was the only one after Endgame. Just don't care anymore. I like Spider-Man. Who doesn't like Spider-Man? Back to the chat. Bobby says Trump is controlling Biden, who can't control himself. Consider this. Allegedly. That would be insane. I've heard those theories before. For sure. Bobby says, where will the comet land? Who is the comet? Up is down. You're very much like you're a very deep person, Bobby. You got some good stuff going there. I like your chat. Buford says Russia, China, North Korea, Iran versus NATO. Who wins? Yeah. The defensive NATO is never. Good point. Yeah, Bobby says, yeah, good point, Buford, for sure. Forget about Sumatra. Buford says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Okay, let me do that. I'm going to do my best W impression. Like the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Fool me once, can't get fooled again. Terrible W, but I had to do it. Felt good. It felt good. Bobby says Fauci doesn't know shit from Shinola. Not sure if you're a fan of the movie The Jerk. That's where I learned that phrase from, with Steve Martin. Buford says war may be the best thing for America. Reliance on China's cheap labor has made us weak, no doubt, actually. But we got to remember who isn't helping us to create things in America, who wants trade agreements and stuff like that. Fauci is a little boy. He can't figure out even how to pull his... And then Buford gives us a list down through here. You can see it in the chat. All the elites, the people that we can name. Good stuff. So let's get more into this. Because I got way more to say about all this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here on Hoffcast. I really do appreciate you being here. Let me check what I got in the lineup. So my point that I wanted to make was this. If you look here, and this to me all boils down to, where's Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where's Hunter Biden? Hunter Brandon. Where is he? Senator Grassley says Secret Service covering for Hunter Brandon. Can't draw any other conclusions. Grassley tells Fox and Friends Senator's not getting access to travel logs. Excuse me for a second here. All right. Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican in Iowa. He's demanding answers about Hunter Brandon's overseas travels during Brandon's 2 terms as vice president. Republican senators accused the Secret Service of withholding information, which he says the public is entitled to. In a letter to Secret Service Director James Murray, the senators said they didn't receive any documents or communications about Hunter Biden's travels for the years 2010, 2011, or 2013. There's 3 years we don't have any information for. And then in regard to where we did get the information, it was so heavily redacted that it was hard to make sense out of. Well, I wonder where he's going. Maybe Ukraine? Maybe he was going to Epstein's little island. I don't know, allegedly. Who knows? Grassley told host Todd Pira that because of the oversight powers outlined in the Constitution, the documents did not need to be redacted for members of Congress. It's just like pulling teeth to get answers from the executive branch, particularly on this subject, he said. Grassley, however, maintains that transparency on these issues will lead to accountability for the president's son, and his travel information should be made public. Investigating Hunter Brandon's overseas activities. This guy's a scumbag. You know, the guy, you know, smoked more Parmesan cheese than anyone on the planet, and then they try to make him a victim. Oh, he was an addict. We can't make fun of addicts. Well, I'm not making fun of addicts. He's the president's son. He's doing a ton of business over there, partying with all these rich people, banging who knows what. And this guy, he's selling art for like $500 million, and he's never done art before. But no one knows who the buyers are, allegedly. But that's actually that's a real article I can pull up. We know that Hunter Brandon traveled sometimes in an airplane with his father. Go figure. Grassley said, I can't make any accusations against the president, alleged president of the United States, but I think we have a right to know what the son was doing in those instances. I think so too. Especially because they make a lot of money, you know, doing really shady stuff that might not be in the interest of our country at all. That's why I think so. Or else you'll get George W. Bush too, and Hunter Brandon runs for president one day and wins, and because it was probably stolen. We don't want to see that, do we? We don't want to see Hunter Brandon president one day, do we? No, we don't. We don't. We want to see Don Jr. maybe. When asked if he thought the Secret Service was covering for the alleged president's son, Grassley said, at this point, you can't draw any other conclusions. He said the Secret Service would have provided all requested documents if it weren't covering for Hunter Biden. It's very suspicious. Grassley called on the media to act as policemen. Well, I don't agree with that. In order to keep politicians... Well, okay, I do agree with that statement. But the media, you can't trust them. Yeah, the media should act as, I guess, like, you know, they should kind of regulate things a little bit better than they do instead of being so biased. But that's not the way. It's not where we are. It's not where we're never going to see that again in our lives, I don't believe. It's just not the way it is. The internet exists now. Everything's going to be biased. You know, people. It's so easy. Twitter exists. So I exist. That's what the First Amendment, he says, that's what the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and press is all about, to make sure that the government doesn't interfere. There you go. There you go. Let's see here. Then you got you know, this article right here. This is from Economic Collapse blog. 10 signs that indicate that the U.S., the UK, Israel, and NATO all believe that we are on the precipice of a war with Russia. So yeah, it says, are we about to stumble into a war that nobody wants? As I will explain below, it would be so easy to avoid military conflict with Russia, but the people running our foreign policy have ruled out any easy solutions. Instead, they seem absolutely determined to have some sort of a macho showdown with Russia, and that is extremely dangerous. Sadly, these days, most Americans can't even identify our current Secretary of State. The name Jake Sullivan means absolutely nothing to the vast majority of the population. But these are the guys that are telling the senile old guy in the Oval Office what to do about Russia. What the Russians want is not complicated. They want to, or they don't want Western missiles in Ukraine. They don't want Ukraine to join NATO. Those two requests are not unreasonable. Imagine how we would feel if Canada joined a military alliance with Russia, and all of a sudden there were Russian missiles stationed all along the U.S.-Canadian border. We wouldn't like that very much, would we? Probably not. Well, that is how the Russians feel about the situation in Ukraine. The Russians have put their requests into 2 different treaties, but those 2 draft treaties have been firmly rejected by the Brandon administration. Go figure. Go figure. Speaking to reporters, talks in Geneva with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, on Friday, Blinken said that the American side had given a firm and substantive response to 2 draft treaties proposed by Moscow. I didn't know this. I made clear to Minister Lavrov that there are Certain principles that the U.S., our partners and allies, are committed to defend. That includes that those that would impede the sovereign right of the Ukrainian people to write their own future. There is no trade space there, none. If Blinken, Sullivan, and the rest of Joe Biden's national security team were actually competent, this crisis would be over by now. But instead, they have made it clear that there will be absolutely no compromises. So where do we go from here? Well, I'm not going to go through all these 10 signs or whatever, but it's, yeah, that's... So who's to blame, you know? Who's to blame here? What does this one say? This, I like this one. Let's get off the doom and gloom. We did that. Who knows where this is going to head? I honestly don't. I don't know where this is all going. Hopefully not into war. We don't need anything else. We don't need any other reasons for suffering or poverty or struggle or strife, you know. We don't need no more reasons. It seems like they just keep piling it on and on and on and on and on. So let's do something a little bit more fun here. Probably saw this one. I say that every damn time, don't I? I apologize. Let's take a look at this one. Let me start that way. Let's take a look at this one. Watch as Brandon calls Fox News reporter a stupid son of a bitch when asked about inflation. This is a great video right here.
Peter, tell us about this colorful exchange with the president.
They actually show the video in here?
Before this show, you asked a question earlier this evening.
So let me set this up real quick. Sorry. Let me set this up real quick. In case you don't know, in case you haven't seen this, because this is hilarious. It says, alleged President Brandon called Fox News White House reporter Peter Doocy, who's an absolute lion out there, a stupid son of a bitch, Monday on a live microphone after Doocy asked Brandon whether inflation was a political liability to him. The verbal slip took place during a White House event on Brandon administration efforts to combat inflation. After Biden complained that all the press questions were about the military buildup around Ukraine, Doocy shouted, "Will you take questions about inflation? Do you think inflation is a political liability ahead of the midterms?" Thinking his microphone was turned off, Brandon responded sarcastically, "No, that's a great asset. More inflation." And then he added, "What a stupid..." Well, you'll watch it. Let's just watch it here.
Tell us about this colorful exchange with the president. Just a short time before this show, you asked a question earlier this evening.
He didn't want to take any questions off topic. He was at an event about inflation, and so I asked one on inflation. You think inflation is a political liability ahead of the midterms?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
And now we'll just wait to see if the White House has to bleep that on the transcript.
But yet,
Brent.
What do the other reporters say about that? Have you talked to them?
So before he goes on, you have to admit that, like, if Trump had been shown saying that, which, don't get me wrong, Trump in his rallies, he's been known to use some language. None of his supporters care. And apparently none of Brandon's supporters care, even though they want to call Trump out. And I don't care that Biden used bad language. This shows you who he really is. That's what I'm showing you. This shows you who the guy really is underneath. He's either confused or he's pent up. He's got something, he's got all this anger issues, which I do believe he has anger issues. Brandon definitely has anger issues because you've seen him just go off on people, calling people overweight and stuff, like out of nowhere, which that's totally out of line. It was just he's just not a good guy, and that's why I think it's important. Not because I'm offended. Oh my gosh, the president said some guy called someone a son of a bitch. I'm so offended. No, that's not the reason why. I'm showing you who the guy really is, and he tries to say he's someone else. This whole administration tries to show the the high horses, the better people. They're on their high horses. They take the high road every time. It didn't like Michelle Obama or someone say that once, like, oh, we take the high road when they take the low. I can't remember. Maybe it was Hillary, one of them crazy bitches. But what you see is the double standard, the hypocrisy of it, and then you see who these people really are, because that hot mic, and he didn't know it was on because he's deranged, dementia, senile old man. So let's see how this reporter felt about it. This right-leaning reporter, not a left-leaning one, who could easily have taken an insult from a president as playing the victim card, but he chooses not to.
Well, they actually had to tell me that he said it because I couldn't hear anything over the shouting from the Wranglers. So the clip will now live on. Brett.
And infamy. Peter Ducey live on the North.
There's
Lawn.
another
Peter,
clip where he's on Gutfeld making fun of it, saying like, well, you know, you historically have been made fun of by a president now, so that's pretty cool. Oh, this is a funny video right here. This is a good one. Let's see if I can find this. It's on YouTube. I got this one looked up here. Might have to just watch it on the terrible website, one of these terrible websites, which I don't want to do. Never mind. I can't find it on there. My bad. Let me get to the chat here for a second. Thank you all you bosses, for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I'll throw my shades on for the rest of the stream. Let me see here. A lot going on. Let me get to it. Buford said it's all Hunter Brandon's fault for sure. All of it. What if it was what if he was the catalyst of the war? Like, all this was over Brandon, alleged President Brandon, tried to cover his son's ass, because if his son got exposed, then he would get exposed. What if that's what this is all about? Could be. Maybe. Who knows? I hope we find out one day. I really do. Scary stuff. These people, they live inside their own world, so you never know. Bobby says answers are only the beginning of questions. That's true. That's just what we were going through. What I was just going through right there with that roundabout of, well, where are we going with this? You know, it says makes you wonder if he's pulling some of the strings. I don't know who's pulling the strings. That's the real question. If it says stolen valor is real, yeah, I mean, I think that's all we get nowadays. Everyone buying things up and claiming it's theirs, and then changing it completely to fit this new narrative of a new world globalist agenda. You know, Bobby says about Hunter Brandon, once a drug head, always a drug head. Well, at least he loves Italian food. Hunter Brandon, he still loves Italian food. I don't know if he's still a druggie, but he loves spaghetti meatballs and some Parmesan cheese on top for sure. Buford says media is sold to the highest bidder. And Bobby says nail on the head. Everybody better flex their Second Amendment. Guess what? I'm a firm believer in that. Yes. I wouldn't say flex too much, you know. Don't give away your tactics, you know. But definitely make sure that you take advantage of it, I would say. Bobby also says the First Amendment is threatened. Better go for yes. You better go for number 2. Buford says, I got my arms when the time comes. I'm infantry trained. Well, I'm on your side, Buford. I'm on your side, bro. Fed's about to raise taxes. Everything's raising. Everything's going up. Bobby says, we're going to need it once Soros gets his non-binary police force together. Yeah, that's some scary stuff, right? That's real scary right there. The thing is, Yeah, they're all working together to do this, though. Yeah, there's a lot of countries working together to get this done. A lot of people think that these countries have their own say, but they don't when it comes to like United Nations and stuff like that, where they all agree to do the same thing. It's Operation Lockstep. Yeah, Brandon can't take the tough questions. Hot seat is too much when your pants are on fire, or you shit in them. You know. You just said they told Biden to say, I don't know, maybe. Bobby calls Brandon a hateful old man. Yeah, for sure. Underneath the skin, yeah, he tries to be like the union guy. He's the same thing as all of them, you know. He makes up so many stories about his past that aren't true, about how he's like arrested in a civil rights movement, and he was never even there. You know, it's hilarious. Shane says, sad part is Biden is the dumb son of a bitch. Just a joke at this point. Absolutely. Buford says, dig the sunglasses. I appreciate it, man. I normally wear them, but tonight I just figured, like, yeah, sometimes I wear too much. I feel more comfortable when I have them on. I feel like, you know, I don't know. I just feel more comfortable with them on. Bobby said, nice flag, Hoff. Thanks, bro. Cheers to you. So let me see what else we got going on here. We got a few more things. Won't be on too much longer tonight. And then maybe I'll put an invite out for an after party if anyone wants to join. But not knowing if anyone want to, but you're more than welcome to. I invite people after the show. If you would like to join me, you can come backstage, talk to me. We can chat about some stuff. I appreciate y'all being here. It's always a fun time if you show up, but who knows? Who knows about tonight? Yeah, I hope you're there. Yeah, I hope you're more than welcome to be. But let me see. What else we got? Well, we're still on the same. We're still on it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with this. This one says, impeach him now. Bombshell report shows Brandon family profited $31 million working with the Chinese Secret Service. A bombshell book released titled Red-Handed by Peter Schweitzer. Shane, I don't know if you're still watching, but we saw that book today at work. We don't work at a bookstore, by the way. Let's watch a little bit of this video. I haven't seen it actually.
Biden family. Joe Biden's been in government forever. Let me ask you a question on this, Peter Schweitzer. Did the communist Chinese regime make it part of their mission to invest in the Biden family, knowing full well that Joe Biden was a longtime career politician with lots of influence?
I think there's no question, Mark. And look, we spent more than a year investigating Red-Handed, and one of the most startling things we uncovered is the simple fact that the Biden family, while he was vice president of the United States and continuing when he became president, received some $31 million from Chinese individuals who are linked to the highest levels of Chinese intelligence.
$31 million. Whoa.
Yep, $31 million. And these deals, which we lay out in the book, were carried out by a couple of individuals. One is a guy named Che Feng. Hunter Biden, in the Hunter Biden emails, refers to him as the super chairman. That's kind of his nickname for him. And he says in one email, I don't believe in the lottery anymore, but I believe in the super chairman. Now, who is Che Feng? He's kind of this sketchy Chinese businessman. His business partner at the time that he was striking deals with Hunter Biden, his business partner was the vice minister at the Ministry for State Security. He was in charge of, among other things, recruiting foreign nationals to spy for China. He was the head of something called the Number 8 Bureau. It doesn't get any higher than that. These are the sorts of individuals that were striking deals with Hunter Biden. In this particular case, Che Feng happened to help a $20 million deal be secured. Another individual that helped arrange that deal is a guy named Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao helped with that $20 million deal. He also sent $5 million to Hunter Biden, and he sent that money from a very interesting business called Harvest Global. So you have Mr. Zhao sending $5 million. Who's his business partner, Mark? His business partner is the daughter of the former head of the Ministry of State Security. This is the guy who runs the entire spy apparatus for China. Again, it does not get any higher than that. So what this means, Mark, is that in total, the Biden family got $31 million. They performed no discernible legitimate business activities, as I can find, for that $31 million. And every single deal came from individuals tied at the highest levels to the Chinese intelligence apparatus. So there's no question in my mind that they were targeted by the Chinese. And for the life of me, Mark, this is unprecedented. I don't know of a time in American history where the American first family has had this kind of a financial bond with a foreign intelligence service, particularly a foreign intelligence service that wants to defeat the United States in global competition.
That's crazy, huh? That's some crazy stuff, huh? See, maybe we're right about this. Maybe we're not so wrong after all. Maybe Hunter Biden really is the catalyst for all of this. I mean, maybe not just Hunter, but they're all in cahoots. The whole family, they're all rotten. Let me get to the chat for a second. I like this chat tonight. Buford says, "Can you bring some chicks to the after party?" Yeah, just make sure they're chicks. Just make sure they're chicks before you bring them. But you're absolutely welcome to. Bobby says, "Hard to find people who talk about real issues now." Yeah, it is. So it's good to see someone like this guy. I guess talking about this kind of stuff and actually bringing it up rather than the fake media that tries to hide all this kind of stuff. Bobby says, "I think Biden has been with China all along, maybe even knew about their sickness plan." I would say 100%. I think it's not. I think it's way less Brandon and way more Obama. I think because I saw this video, I didn't bring it up. I'll try to bring it up next week, where Obama was talking about how when he can't be president anymore, he would like to just be sitting in a basement in his pajamas, just on a microphone telling someone what to say. That way he could still have some control. But since he doesn't, he'd still like to be in control. I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now, allegedly. Definitely not Brandon making his own decisions, that's for sure. Can't even speak a couple sentences, Buford says Biden definitely knew about this sickness plan way ahead of time, for sure. Definitely all in cahoots. Like I said, even Fauci was even doing the HIV, the AIDS thing back in the 80s. They're all the same club. They're all in the same group. It's not that they're good at what they do at all. It's that they control everything, and they're the ones who control things. They're fighting for control more than anything. Or you can take it the other way, and it's just kayfabe, like wrestling, and they're all in cahoots, just making us disagree with each other so they can control us more, and they're all on the same side. Me, honestly, I do think the orange man, Trump, I do think he is owned as well, but I don't think he's owned by the same people who owns these people, in my personal opinion. I don't know if that's true or false, but it just seems that way. But it seems like he still knows the same people. He still knows part of that group. That's the only way you can get there, really. So, you've seen the pictures of him with Epstein. Also, way more with Clinton. But I'm just saying. Bobby says Chinese government is against God, probably paying Brandon to help wipe out Christianity for communist agenda. They've been trying to wipe out Christianity for way longer than just the past couple years. I just want to make that clear. But now it's very, very obvious. It's very obvious that they want people to, it goes back to even the trans agenda and stuff. And once again, nothing wrong with if you're trans or gay, but that's not as soon as you become something like that, and it's trendy, in my opinion, for some people might be born that way, or they just really feel that way. But in my opinion, a lot of times it's a trendy kind of thing, just like tattoos or whatever, or even the core of wearing masks. It's a trend. It's a damn trend. But either way, it gets you against God. And I'm not here preaching, believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm just telling you the way this is going. I'm not telling you to believe what I believe. I'm saying what they're doing is as soon as you start believing like that, you immediately become against God and Christianity, and that lowers your frequencies, lowers everything, takes away your individuality, really, even though you think that you're becoming more individual, because you're really just playing into the system. A lot of these people, they think if I'm not part of the system by going against the system, but then again, that is part of the system is going against the system. It's, like, you can't control me. I'm my own person. I dye my hair my own color. I get my own tattoos. I get all my piercings, and I believe in all these rights, except for everyone who disagrees with me. But I'm tolerant, and this is who I am, and I'm an individual. But no, you're just playing right into the same system that all these people are playing into. You're literally a clone. Like everyone now. I mean, nothing against if you look like that or if you got those sorts of things going on. And nothing wrong with tattoos, piercings, anything like that. What I'm saying is, if you think that gives you individuality, you're wrong. I mean, that's just the way it is. And that doesn't give you individuality. It doesn't give you freedom. It doesn't give you spirit at all. It says, yeah, let them control our economy. Buford says they're all professional Monopoly players. Definitely. That's for sure. Buford says this company knew way ahead of time so they can make that snake oil. That's for sure. Now they're trying to make that snake oil. You have to take it every year. They got to keep their bottom line full. They got all these people on board now. Now they can sustain it. So I think that's the way it is. Bobby says Mark of the Beast is here for sure. 100%. I do 100% believe that. I really do. I mean, I don't know if there's even one mark. It seems like there's a few marks now. It's like, is it the what they're putting in us? Is it the chips? What is it? The chips they're putting on our skin that have your records on it or your cryptocurrency. What really is the mark? But I mean, I think there are many marks. I don't know if there's just one. Tattoos, like I was just saying, nothing against tattoos. Once again, and like 95% of people in the world have tattoos. I'm not trying to offend any of you people. Bobby says, if you have kids, I hope you homeschool. I agree with you, bud. We need to protect our babies from satanic teaching. Buford says the mark of the beast is 666. Well, how do we know that? Some people have said that some of the, which I don't believe this, but the tests of like the Corv or whatever represent a spiral that looks like a 666, like under microscopes. I don't know if that's true. Probably not. Interesting, though. And this is just what I was talking about with that there just a second ago. That's going to be an annual thing now. So yeah, CEO of this big company says an annual jab is preferable to periodic boosters.
Get your boosters. Hey, if you're not wearing your mask, you're not getting your booster shot. I don't know what you're doing. You're against science. And if you're against me, then you're against science. So listen to good old Dr. Fauci here. Get your booster, wear your mask.
So yeah, it says countries are experimenting. There you go. It comes down to that word so much. Where are the lab rats? Experimenting with more frequent boosters as the Omicron spreads. The Viagra CEO Borla says, however, that one annual jab would be better. This is all made up. It's just like all off the cuff. There's no. I mean, they have a plan underneath, but they don't. They kind of. I think they lost the ground. I think they lost the wheels on it. Now they're just making stuff up. It's like, oh shit, we lost control of this a little bit. What do we do now? Like, oh, let's just make up some more make up some more stuff here. The executive Borla said on Saturday that an annual jab would be preferable to more frequent boosters in fighting the sickness. I'm not going to read any more of this, but I just wanted to show you that I literally can't read any more of that. They moved the goalpost so much that I cannot read things like that, or I will get Steve right too. So yeah, you can read it if you want, but tomorrow the numbers and the information will probably be different because they make it up every other day. So if I said something today and it's different tomorrow, well then guess what? That's my fault. It's not their fault. That's my fault, and I get punished for it. So I got to be careful on that. Wookiee Supremacy, what's up, man? Cheers, cheers, and salute to you. Always great to see Wookiee Supremacy. A real good guy right there. Real good guy. Probably says Brandon is selling this country to China. That's for sure. That's for sure. Or maybe even Ukraine dies. Who knows? Who knows? We got a great chat in here tonight. I'm glad to see you all. Let me see what I got here. I got a few more things. Then I'll do a couple UFO videos, and I'll probably call it a night. But that's still a little bit of time here. I do have a few more things to go over. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one. I got a few more I can get out. So I know you guys, at least Buford here is for the Second Amendment. I don't like this one. I don't like this one at all. There's that new mayor of New York. Is that what it is? Yeah. It says this is the gun that killed our young officer. Adam vows to get trigger pullers off streets. Mayor Eric Adams on Monday unveiled plans to crack down on illegal guns like the one used to kill a rookie officer and critically injure another cop in Harlem last week while displaying photos of the illegal murder weapon. In my opinion, I don't believe any gun should be illegal. I really don't. A weapon is a weapon. You can kill someone with a damn baseball bat, Not as easy, but you can do it. There's a lot of things. There's a million things around my home right now I could probably kill someone with. I got a bunch of knives in the kitchen, don't outlaw these guns. No gun should be outlawed. It said Wookiee was asking when did this happen. This is I don't know if he's asking me or someone else. Oh, they're talking about Chewbacca in the chat. My bad. I was trying to keep up with the chat and read like 5 things at the same time. Let's get back to this. You guys are having fun there. Keep having fun. I love it. Mayor Eric Adams on Monday unveiled plans. Following the first major policy address of his new administration, Adams also held a news conference at which he repeatedly held up a photo of an illegal loaded assault-style rifle with a high-capacity magazine that he said the killer who was shot and stopped by a third cop had under his mattress. See, I don't believe in any kind of, personally, I really don't believe in any kind of restrictions on guns. I guess I would recommend if you want to use a gun, you should definitely take a course or have some training or learn from someone, have a mentor, anything like that. Don't just go out there buying guns and just out there just to use them for bad things. I'm not for that, but I'm not for any kind of restrictions on these things, like saying some are illegal, some are not. The government owns tanks and nukes, but you can't have an assault rifle? Huh. Funny how that works. And guess who's trying to take them away? The government. Funny how that works. And all these countries that you see, like Australia, who don't have their Second Amendment, they're getting annihilated by the police and the government. In certain areas, at least. So heed that warning. Definitely Second Amendment all the way. What this Adams guy says is this is what a police officer is up against. They should not be up against this. During his speech, he vowed to get the guns out of criminals' hands. I know how to do this. Okay, tell me, bud, what's your big plan? New York has done it before. I know what it is. I was being rhetorical there. It's not just a plan for the future. The future. This plan is for right now. Adams said that the NYPD would start by focusing on the 30 police precincts where 80% of the city's violence takes place. That's a good call. I mean, I'm not against that. Not a bad call. Teams will be deployed to the 20 most dangerous neighborhoods during the next 3 weeks. We'll have boots on the ground on every block in the city. I don't know about that. That's kind of what do they call it? Martial law a little bit, in my opinion. I do agree with focusing on the certain areas, but I don't agree with boots on the ground and invading places. That is why we will name a dedicated anti-gun violence coordinator in every city agency. The initiative includes rolling out undercover police. There you go. Neighborhood safety teams, first reported by the Post, whose members will travel in unmarked vehicles and will wear street clothes, but will also easily be identifiable as cops. Well, what did you say? Hold on, let's go back. Members will travel in unmarked vehicles and will wear street clothes. Undercover police, but will also be easily identifiable as cops. How? Let me know. Let the rest of us know. Does it say in this article? The attire may include jackets similar to the ones worn by FBI agents during raids. He said, and they will be required to turn on body-worn cameras whenever they get out. Oh, we'll see about that. Come on, let's be honest here. Adams said they would also use new technology. Oh, let's look at this. 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 Would you look at it? Look at this. Would you look at it? New technology. New technology. Like there's robot dogs that they have with the cameras on them. And they're going to put guns on them soon. Let me tell you what. If you see one of them, keep a can of paint around your home at all times in case one of these robot dogs wants to invade your home. You pop that paint can open. You toss that paint on that bitch. Problem solved. You can kick it out of your home with your boot, But that's what he's talking about. This is what they're talking about. We know this. They're talking about these robot dogs. Adams said they would use new technology to identify people carrying guns in what could amount to a new no-contact version of the NYPD's controversial stop and frisk program. See what I'm saying? No-contact version. They don't say what it is. That will involve everything from facial recognition technology to new tools that can spot those carrying weapons. I'm not wrong. An NYPD source welcomed Adams' embrace of technology, saying it's about time we were out there saying we will use it. Oh, this is just all a big lie to take our guns and use their new technology to lock us down and use our robot dogs under Skynet to kill us all. The source said that under former Mayor Bill de Blasio, officials wanted to get rid of some of the technology or put restrictions on its use. Now they're trying to make him look bad. I mean, he was a bad guy, but now they're saying like, no. He was a bad guy. Now we're doing this. Saying we're going to use it as a democratic city is huge. Of course it is. New York's probably the worst place to be in the freaking world. Dang, bro. That's crazy, right? Like, they're saying it right in front of us. They're saying it literally right in front of us. And no one gets it. Like, it's subtle. We get it. Dang. They're going to use that new technology. They've been waiting to use it. They funded it for so long. They got a lot of money in it. Just like this new... I found this the other day. I found it was interesting. Speaking of like new technology. It's a website for DeLorean AI. Developing sentient AI applications for the future of Fortune 500 companies. the future of trading, literally. About DeLorean artificial intelligence. I'm not going to read all that, but they just want to put AI into these Fortune 500 companies. And so all these companies are going to be ran by all this, 5G hub internet kind of completely destroyed thing. Something I've wanted to talk about for a long time now, which I'm not going to do it tonight, but the theory that the internet is dead. The fact that maybe like 80% even allegedly of the people that you interact with or talk to online or see in comments or posting just comments, anyone who just has like a generic sort of thing to them, they're all bots, they're all AI. I can't believe that, because I'm going to give you guys a little Hoffcast behind the scenes information right now. If my thumbnails, I use very unique images that don't really look like anything. They're kind of abstract. I use literally an AI imaging tool on my phone to make an image from my streams every week, so I don't get copyrighted or something like that from the image. But I try to make it the same kind of theme. I try to go with something that kind of goes with what I'm talking about. I hope I do a good job most of the time. I don't think I always do, but I try. But you can use the AI. I use the AI right now to make the thumbnails for my streams. So who knows what else they're using for, this stuff, or who knows what else they're using this stuff for. Get to the chat here. You guys are going crazy over here. Bobby says, where are all these guns coming from? Huh? So we're on policing in this country for sure. I'm not saying police are good necessarily, but I also say not all police are bad. Just like any group of people, I individualize people, but I think a lot of cops, the ones that are being attacked are the ones that are being led by the wrong people and are abiding by rules because they don't want to lose their jobs, and they're enforcing these laws that aren't, in my opinion, you shouldn't be able to enforce these kind of laws. And also to take advantage of a lot of things. Not all cops are good, but also I do believe that there are a lot of good cops out there. Same as anyone or any group of people or whatever you want to say. Buford said, why did Biden leave all of those arms in Afghanistan? I wonder. What was it, like $85 million worth of like helicopters and missiles and tanks and stuff? Or was it 85 billion? I can't remember. It's probably 85 billion. Yeah, 85 million. That's like one tank, right? It's 85 billion. So I don't know, man. I mean, we know it's all a setup. It's all a setup. It will play out soon. We're seeing the hints now, but we're not given the full story. And once again, like 9/11 or something like that, we'll never be given the full story, unfortunately. But in this day and age, we might have the power to do something about it and call it out. We don't feel like we do, but I think we can. Shane says, because the government. Bobby says, might be right. We set up a puppet government and the Taliban. Whoa, that's blowing my mind. Whoa. That's crazy. That's a crazy thought right there. What if our puppet government is the terrorists? That's a crazy thought. That never even occurred to me. That's something I really want to think about and look into. And Shane says so the Taliban can use it and control again all the stuff that we left over there. Buford says Putin wants regime to change in Kiev, but can we have that? I don't know, but thank you for watching Hoffcast, and I appreciate it. Once again, if you haven't yet hit the thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, please do so. I'm here every week on Tuesday. I'm doing this. I'm here to talk with you guys and to try to curate some news for you and kind of figure out what's going on in the world. And I think we're doing a very good job at this. I think we're doing a very good job. Buford says Terminators will be real soon. You will see. They already are. Where I work, there are literally robots that run around and they have sensors and cameras on them so they know where to go. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not going to say where I work, but that's a true thing. Shane can attest to that. Buford says, look, they got robot vacuum cleaners now. Robots will rule. Yeah, that's not just what they have. They go way bigger than vacuum cleaners. Let me tell you, bud. This just says Skynet is real. Bobby's talking about these vacuums, Big Brother, and they map your house. Don't use them. That's for sure. That's what these robots where I work, what they do. Bobby says, I lost connection. You might be censored. Be careful. I look good on my end. Hopefully I'm still good. It looks good to me. But thank you for that input. I recommend, and I also appreciate telling me anytime that happens. So like I said, we got a few more things to go over here. We've almost ran through the whole thing. Okay, so I got the supply chain shortage issue going on. Let's talk about that for a minute. So I got an article and a video on this. Let's take a look at it. This article is obviously all about underwear and not about food shortages. This is also did I share this one earlier? No, I don't think I did. No, I shared a different one from this website earlier. It says this is also from the Economic Collapse blog. I like this page. It says experts are warning that empty shelves and food shortages are going to continue for many weeks to come. This was on January 17th. The term return to normal is being thrown around a lot these days, but will things ever truly return to the way that they were before the pandemic came along? I don't think so. From an economic standpoint, an extraordinary amount of lasting damage has been done over the past 2 years. That's true. It's going to take a long time to ever come back from all this crap, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think they've kind of got what they wanted. Back to the article. A seemingly endless list of major problems has thrown thousands upon thousands of critical supply chains into a complete and utter state of chaos. And this has resulted in some very painful shortages. For quite a while, the mainstream media kept insisting that the shortages would soon be gone. But now they're being forced to admit the truth, if you can believe it. NPR has even published a major story, that's hard to believe, about the growing shortages in this company. They say, no, you're not imagining it. Some grocery store shelves are bare again, conjuring bad memories of spring 2020 for many. Mainly just like the toilet paper shelf there for spring 2020. Oh, what were we going to do back in spring 2020 without the toilet paper? Now we don't have any meat or food, and they're going to try to sell us crickets and GMOs. Say social media is rife with images of empty supermarket aisles and signs explaining the lack of available food and other items. Stores such as Aldi, Amish people love Aldi, have apologized to customers for the shortages. Nobody in the mainstream media ever imagined that the shortages would last this long. Of course. They imagined it, but they just didn't want to say it. They knew about it. Or maybe these puppets who, just the anchors that you see, they're like Anchorman, the movie Anchorman with Will Ferrell. They don't even know what they're saying. They just read whatever's on the teleprompter. I wish Joe Biden could do that, but he can't. He can't just even do that. Back to the article. For certain items such as computer chips, the duration of the shortages is now approaching 2 full years. Why computer chips? That's weird. Of course, fear of Omicron has made things even worse. And one expert interviewed by NPR, I hate NPR. Do you want me to do the rest of this article like NPR? Because if I do, you'll storm off this stream. I swear. Let me do this one sentence in NPR. It's like this. We're really seeing the perfect storm. Phil Limpert, editor of the website supermarketguru.com, told NPR. You don't want to hear that from me for 3 hours. You don't. Isn't it strange how that term just seems to keep popping up all over the place? Perfect storm. One of the major issues that supermarkets on the East Coast are currently facing is greatly increased shipping costs. No crap, dude. Not on the coast, but I'm over here on that side, kind of. Many Americans don't realize this, but much of the fresh produce that we enjoy is actually grown in a handful of Western states. I'm sure a lot of that percentage is now owned by Gil Bates. In fact, 99% of walnuts, 97% of kiwis, plums, 95% celery, blah, 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 grown in the United States come from California. To get all that produce to stores in the East has always been a major production, but today it has also become exceedingly expensive. Hey, we can take care of ourselves over here, all right? We don't need all your crap from California. Don't ship it. Just give us some land to grow it on. We'll be all right. We don't need your crap from over there. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Just keep it. It says growers of perishable produce across the West Coast are paying nearly triple pre-pandemic trucking rates to ship things like lettuce and berries before they spoil. Pretty sure you can grow lettuce and berries over here on this side of the country too. They've been holding off shipping onions to retail distributors until freight costs go down and other things. Meyer said transportation disruptions in the last 3 weeks caused by a lack of truck drivers. The reason I heard about that is because the current administration does not want to use any trucks that are older than 2010 or something like that, like older than 10 years old. So that's taking a lot of vehicles that are usable to transport things across the country out of work. So what they're doing is, I don't even know what the ultimate plan is, if they're wanting to use like automated vehicles and transportation or whatnot. But they're also using the cure to take truckers off the road, especially in like Canada, where you see a lot of protests going on, where the truckers are not taking that crap, and they don't want to, and they shouldn't have to. And that's the reason why the supply chain is breaking down, but they want to blame it on everything else. They don't want to see what's really going on here with this kind of thing. They really, really don't. But I don't see the reason why they can't. They could flip the switch like that, and the supply chain would probably be right back on course. Just take these restrictions away. That's all you got to do. And guess what? But they don't want that. They want us to suffer. They want inflation. As you saw in that Brandon video. Inflation is an asset. Inflation ain't bad. Inflation's good. You got to be kidding me. Come on. I learned in history books in like 3rd or 4th grade that inflation was bad. And now they're trying to gaslight you into saying, oh, inflation's a good thing. We need inflation. No, it's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's good for them. That's it. It's good for their pockets. Of course they think it's an asset. They don't live like we do. They're not like us. They don't live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to figure out when the next mandate's going to come along to screw our lives over. That's what's going on. That's why people are doing these protests, and I will stand with anyone. I'm not against. Actually, I am. Never mind. I'm not going to even make that point. I am totally against the rules, the mandates for any of this stuff. Like completely 100% against this, and I stand with anyone who's against it as well. Back to this article. It says Meyer said transportation disruptions in the last 3 weeks caused by lack of truck drivers and recent highway blocking storms have storms. They'll blame that on climate change. I'm sure global warming have led to a doubling of freight costs for fruit and vegetable producers on top of already elevated pandemic prices. We typically will ship East Coast to West Coast. They give numbers there. It says, unfortunately, the issues that are plaguing the industry are not going to be cleared up anytime soon. I was so naive. I thought they were gonna fix this by simply lifting regulations and get everything back to normal, because that's not what they're doing. That's why they allegedly stole the last thing that elected someone for alleged leader of the free world. It's because it's all a big plan. Even though I feel like they're doing very poorly at their plan, it is a plan for sure. So, yeah, but you can grow food on the East Coast. This is all BS. My parents used to have gardens for years. Very good gardens. You should have seen the size of those squash. How much squash or zucchini they grow over there on the West Coast? Yeah, we'll ship it out to you. It says now that millions of workers have seemingly disappeared from the system, companies all over America are fiercely competing with one another for anyone that still has a pulse and is available. Well, I wonder why. So if the food industry wants to hire thousands upon thousands of new workers, they're going to have to radically raise wages. If they do that, we'll be paying even more to fill up our carts at the grocery store or our cars at the gas station. Today, a full shopping cart full of food can run more than $300 in many areas. I'm one man. I buy the essentials and I spend like $100 every time I go to the freaking store. I hate it. It's terrible. I try every time I go there. I'm like, I'm going to cut back. I'm only going to get what I need. I get just what I need, even though I try to stock up a little bit, but it always turns out to be like way more than I expected. And it wasn't that much before. That's for sure. Like, let's say 3 years ago. It definitely wasn't that much, like, say, 3 years ago. Gas prices, say, were like $1.79, like, 2 to 3 years ago? We weren't having any wars, say, 2 to 3 years ago? But Brandon, the most popular president of all time, 82 million votes. He's getting the job done by putting these restrictions on everyone and causing the world to literally crumble around us. Says grocery stores have been trying to stock up for 20 months now and to fill the holes and catch up with this historic surge in demand. It's like another Great Depression in the 20s. But every time they make a little headway, new constraints and problems emerge, and they still don't have enough inventory on hand to get over the hump. They temporarily or sporadically run out of items. The elephant in the room is that nobody really wants to talk about is the fact that our supply chains will never fully return to the way they were in 2019. Too much has changed. Yes, there will be a lot of ups and downs, but I actually believe that many of the problems that we are facing today will actually grow over time. Dang, dude, that ain't good news. It took decades of incredibly bad decisions to get us to this point, and the gross incompetence being displayed by our leaders in Washington does not give me confidence that things will turn around anytime soon. The years ahead are not going to be pretty, and I would advise you to prepare accordingly. I agree with that. I have some, what's that, storable foods, good for 25 years. I got a good amount of it. I want to buy more of it because it lasts for like 25 years, and who knows what's going to happen. It's already, I bought it like a year ago, and I thought I'd never need it. And now I'm thinking I need way more for what's going to happen in the future. And while we're still, let me get to the chat real quick. But I got another thing on the subject, a little video on it. Bobby says ploy to increase inflation. Yeah, but they want to say inflation's good, right? Inflation's good because they're making more money and we're making less and spending more. So inflation's good. Shane says you can't even get bagels at Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Bullshit. That's the real problem, right? That's when you know the world's really gone to shit, is when you can't get the damn bagels at Chick-fil-A. That's when you know things are up and that we got some real problems going on. That's the telltale sign. That's the pH test right there. That's it. Bobby says workforce won't work, so they'll starve them out. I hope so, but then they want to win, though. So they feel like if we don't work, they'll just keep raising prices until we have to work, or else we'll just starve to death or be homeless. I think that's their strategy right there, is like, if you don't want to work, well, guess what? We're going to F you over until you do want to work again, and you do want to abide by our rules and our mandates. It's insane. It's like it's blackmail. Literally, it's like a gun to your head. It's crazy. Bobby says, got to stock up. Absolutely. Buy those bagels in bulk. Absolutely. Bobby says, where are all the chips going? I don't know, man. Where's all the lunch meat going? Last time I went to the store, there's no lunch meat. All they had was low sodium. Go figure. Like the most, not the most, but the more healthy version of the lunch meat on the shelf was the only one was low sodium. Go figure. Huh? Bobby says, bet Biden can get bagels and chips for sure. But he loves ice cream too. What alleged child lover doesn't love ice cream or pizza? Yeah. Fifth, he says there's plenty of water out here by California, but too much droughts. Yeah, that's weird, right? It's weird how they can't figure that out. It's really weird how they can't figure that out in California or in Flint, Michigan, where the water, I believe, is still pretty bad. Shane says Brandon doesn't even know what a bagel is. Hey, give me that donut that doesn't have any glaze on it. Yeah, donut that's got sesame seeds on it. Dang, you guys got some great comments in there, but I'm gonna get to this next part here. I will say I'll read Buford's because he put a big one up. He said if the idea is to populate the human race, expect a supply chain breakdown caused by a man-made up propaganda campaign that causes mass hysteria. Think Hegelian dialect. Yes, you're 100% right on that. Like you hit the nail on the dang head with that, bro. Like that's the truth. That's what's going on right now. Allegedly. YouTube allegedly, that's what's going on. I want to show part of this video. I want to kind of like maybe skip through it for a second, and then maybe do. I got like a couple other things after that, and then maybe wrap it up, call it a night. And if you want to be in the after party, I'll put the invite in there. Maybe wrap this up by midnight, and if you want to come by, you're welcome to. I'll probably be done before midnight. But anyways, this video here. Let's check this out for a second. I haven't watched a lot of this, so we'll probably skim through some of it.
Is January 2022. I apologize for the audio problems, which I don't know what the problem is, because I don't change anything. And do I want to scare you into making sure that if you've got the resources that you are stocking up? Yes, I do, because things are getting far worse. So line of ships waiting at LA, Long Beach, at all-time high. I thought Biden fixed this problem. I guess he didn't. And we have China shutting down their ports.
China.
Why is that important? It's China. We're the United States. We don't manufacture anything, and we get a whole lot of foods, supplies from China. Work comes to a standstill at world's most important ports in China. Also in the United States. We also have the vaccine mandate for truckers. Canadian truckers, United States, American truckers, and, well, I forgot to pull up that video
I hope not
of the truckers protesting and clogging up the roads on the border. So let me see if I can find it. There are lots of videos on YouTube.
He's way quicker than I am with finding videos.
Protesting
Or it's
the
edited.
vaccine mandate. I just learned that apparently, I believe on the 22nd, truckers are going to strike in North America. But here, just a few minutes of what's happening. I believe this is a border with Minnesota.
Once again, thank all your bosses for being here for Hoffcast tonight. Cheers to you.
Every so often you hear the truckers out here honking their horns.
Definitely Canadian.
So that is
Hear
awesome.
the truckers out here honking their
I
horns.
like that. This is all in support of all the truck drivers, including myself. I'm a trucker myself, so let's give a good round of applause for all the truckers out here. I know it's not easy on us. I know this thing wants to wobble here a little bit when I'm cruising, but the internet may not be the strongest up here, so you never know.
So
Paula between Hope and Merritt recently reopened after flood damage.
already shortages are multiplying.
Shane says
not
y'all ready
just
for
in the
World War?
United States, also in
Huh?
Canada. Yeah, this is.
I think we're already in it. Like I was saying earlier, I think we've been in it for like 2 years.
The truckers, the Canadian truckers who are crossing the border into the United States, coming back into Canada, you have to isolate yourself or quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. Okay, I guess you're going to have to get a test as well to prove that you're negative. Do you know what this does to the supply chain? Oh, it disrupts it greatly. So experts are warning that empty shelves and food shortages are going to continue for many weeks. No, this is the new, well, where is it? Venezuela that we're living in. Yeah, Venezuela.
Venezuela.
So it's
oh shit.
No.
That ain't good.
It's gone. But
it says we apologize.
are.
Our store is out of stock of items.
Is it important that that 9% are full? So those empty shelves on television.
I'm gonna mute this.
Don't
I'm gonna
worry.
go through the chat, and I got one more specific video to show. Then I'm gonna do some UFOs. Put the invite in there, and then get out. Had a great time tonight. I'm still having a great time. We still got a little bit of show left. Venezuela. That's a funny term. I hadn't heard it until just now. Let's see here. Gifford says, who will control the robots? Well, it's like Klaus Schwab, they got all that stuff going on with the people he's with. We got Mark Zuckerberg. We got Bill Gates. We got all these people controlling the robots. Elon Musk, big robot guy, huge robot guy, huge microchip in your, not even a microchip, but a big chip in your head kind of guy. Bobby says he'll be surprised if it takes till summer for gas to be over $100 a barrel. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. They've been kind of fluctuating in order to get us. It's like a wave, this keeps getting bigger. Like they want to make you think, oh, gas is down 20 cents this week from $3.85 to $3.65. It must be getting cheaper. Oh my gosh. Oh no, we're going to be seeing back in like the George W. Bush age where gas was like $4.50 a freaking gallon. I'm not even lying. Like $4.19 to $4.50 a freaking gallon. It's insane. Yes, I agree. The same people are controlling things now, for sure. Bobby said, communists, watch out for them communists, especially the China, the CCP. Said, better hunker down, blend in, or get out. I don't know, man. I'm trying to stand out, man. I'm trying to make sure they know who our voices are. Maybe you're talking about something else. Bobby says, how is there a shortage if all those ships are waiting? I was kind of explaining that. It has to do with people not wanting to get the jab and also the restrictions on trucks. There's a combination of that and also just the overall unwillingness to make things happen because this is the plan. This is literally the plan. It's not that they can't do these things. They can make it happen. Like, we don't have to be in this situation. We literally don't. It's because of this fight over stupid things, over left versus right, red versus blue. It's all this bull crap. And like having to like go with this new Green Deal or the new, make sure that we're being pros recycling and stuff. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. I'm just saying they try to make people out to be a bad person if you don't do it. And these trucks that are out there that could easily be shipping things across the country with little maintenance, they could do it. And they could put these older trucks back on the road and give people more jobs again by not making restrictions on basically admitting their health records when it's not anyone's business. They could do it in a heartbeat. It could be over tomorrow if they wanted it to be over tomorrow. They don't want it to be over tomorrow because this is their plan. They don't want that. They could do it. It's easy. These are problems that shouldn't exist. They didn't exist before because we knew how to deal with them. But now we're seeing that people are restricting them and thus creating problems. Thus, everyone's saying, well, who do we blame for this? We know who to blame for this. We know what the issue is. There's huge problems going on that could easily be solved if these people weren't holding us hostage as literal human beings in this world. Easy. Bobby says, who's holding them up? Well, the governments are holding them up. They don't want. I think I just went through that. It's an old comment. Bobby says, how is it global warming when there's so much snow that trucks can't drive? Well, that's the thing. I think global warming, they use the wrong term there, and they even claim that because they know it's fake. But apparently global warming just means extreme effects on the planet, no matter if it's cold or hot, even though it's called global warming. Fact is, we can't change that. There's nothing. We can definitely help the planet by not polluting so much or throwing a bunch of garbage into the oceans, killing fish. But we don't have any, in my opinion, I'm not a scientist or meteorologist or anything like that. In my opinion, looking over what they tell us through history, through ice ages and heat waves and everything like that, we have no say over it. We've had heat waves before. We've had cold ages before. It's they want to make any reason that something is extreme seem like it's a reason to profit off of you. And they can do it with anything. Weather's always crazy. But they can use anytime there's a crazy weather event and call it global warming and say, hey, we need to stay inside more. We need to lock down. We need to do what we can to save the planet. It's all propaganda. It's all fake, in my opinion, and allegedly. That's just what I'm saying. It's like, it's all about control. That's what we're all saying. We all know this. Bobby says, get the ice road truckers. They don't have good TV like that anymore. Well, absolutely. Not a whole lot of good TV in general. All of it's propaganda. All of it's pushing a narrative to a certain place, a certain agenda. Bobby said, don't let them stop you, Hoff. I won't. Hoff, you can't stop Hoff here. Hoff's a boss, and all of you watching right now, you're all bosses too. I appreciate you, and cheers to you all watching right now. They ain't going to stop any of us. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking. Bobby says Elon might be reptilian. I can't tell you. I'm pretty sure he is, in my opinion. Buford says when billionaire Tesla founder Elon Musk revealed he has Asperger's syndrome on his recent Saturday Night Live hosting gig, many applauded his transparency. A complex developmental condition that involves persistent challenges in social interaction, speech, and nonverbal communication, and restricted repetitive behaviors. Reptilian, perhaps? Could Musk be a reptilian? Could he be? Could he be? I don't know. I do know he wants to put chips in everyone's heads, and he's very for AI. I don't trust that guy at all. Shane says Elon trying to get McDonald's to accept Dogecoin. It's 2022. Of course. That's not even a joke. I know Shane's telling me the truth. Of course. Hey, welcome to 2022, where Elon Musk is trying to get McDonald's to accept Dogecoin. Shane here's a big Dogecoin kind of guy. And Bud, I hope you win out in the end on the Dogecoin. There was potential, but they're all down right now. The stock market's going to crash soon. All the crypto is going down. The dollar currency is losing its value. Everything's kind of losing its value as inflation is going up. And you got Peter Ducey calling out Brandon on it, and Brandon calls him a stupid son of a bitch. This is the world we live in. Welcome to 2022, where nothing makes sense. And everyone else is dumb except for the media. Buford says he's got 8,000 Dogecoin. Damn, dude. I hope you win. I hope it goes up, man. Maybe buy more now in the dip. I don't know what else to say. I'm not a crypto expert. I did make a little bit of money off of it, but I'm not an expert on it at all. And that's the truth. So everyone, I got one more video. I'm going to share this video, and I might just play the whole video and just step aside for a minute. Come back, watch some UFOs, take maybe a little break, and then finish out the last 10, 15 minutes watching some UFO videos. Actually, before I do that, one more thing. Just real quick here. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. I know I did the big Alec Baldwin video recently. Thanks to everyone who watched, liked, and found out about Hoffcast over that. Real quick here, Alec Baldwin. I don't have much news on him this week, but this article says Alec Baldwin and other Rust producers want suit over fatal shooting tossed out. Of course, you know why? Because like I said last week, it's all fake. None of it was real. There was never a script for Rust. There was never a real movie. This is all a psyop. They're getting figured out. Everyone knows how crazy Alec Baldwin is. It says more than 2 months after the script supervisor, on Rust filed a lawsuit against Alec Baldwin and other producers for the actor's fatal shooting of the cinematographer Helena Hutchinson on the New Mexico set. The defendants want a California judge to dismiss it, of course. Nothing about plaintiff's allegations suggests that any of the defendants, including Mr. Baldwin, intended the prop gun to be loaded with live ammunition. So they're just trying to throw it out. If they're blaming it, hey, guns kill people. I don't kill people. Guns kill people. Not my responsibility. When I'm holding a gun, this is Alec Baldwin talking right here, not Hoff. Alec Baldwin, this is his opinion. When I'm holding a gun, it's not my responsibility because I'm on a movie set. I have nothing to do with it. It's not this real gun is that can actually harm someone. It's not a prop gun. It's not plastic. When I'm holding this real gun, it's not my responsibility to check it. It's someone else's. Therefore, I am cleared of all charges. Don't blame me, even though I'm a psychopath writing on Splenda packets and drawing pictures of me dying when I meet my wife and all this kinds of crazy stuff. No. It was the gun's fault. No one is to blame here. The gun is to blame. And that's exactly what the PSYOP is. That's 100%. And that's why no one's going to pay for this. Especially because, once again, I apologize in advance if someone actually did pass away from this. If some psychopath or sociopath like Alec Baldwin actually did go to the depths of his abyss black mind in order to actually get the courage to shoot someone and blame it on a gun, and someone actually died. But in my opinion, it's all fake. But I apologize if someone actually did pass away, and I think she did. I in my heart of hearts, I believe this woman actually did die. But to me, this is all just so freaking insane. Who knows, man? Like, I really don't even think they had a script for this movie. I don't think it was a real movie. I don't think there was a production crew. I don't think there was anyone. I think this is all just a big setup for a news story, and they were all going to get out of it in the end. It was all just to blame the gun and not anyone else. This is the biggest movie. It's like a real life movie. Alec Baldwin's biggest role he's playing right now. He's the star of it all. Good old Alec Baldwin. Yeah. What a sociopath. What a psychopath. I'm just saying, man. That's what I think about the whole thing. I don't think it's. Kira, you all right? I don't even know if it's. I don't know how legit it is, especially when we're talking about someone like Alec Baldwin involved with anything. This crazy guy. No idea. Let me get to the chat. I read that already. Sorry, I scrolled up too much. Shane says he said he'd buy a Happy Meal if they did. He's talking about Elon Musk. trying to get McDonald's to accept Dogecoin. They can't even get their McFlurry machine to work. Anytime I'm in there, how is a Bitcoin machine going to work? Of course it would. Obviously, that would work better than anything in the whole place. Probably, even, I don't know. McFlurry machine, go screw that. You want a McFlurry today? No, sorry, it's out of order. Well, it's out of order the last 4 months. It's still sitting there. I went to 5 other McDonald's locations in this area in a 50-mile radius. All McFlurry machines are down. Am I ever going to see another McFlurry in my life? No, sir. I'm sorry. They will be down forever. No more Oreo or M&M McFlurries for you. So I'm gonna take just a quick dip out. I'm gonna share this video here for you all. Let me get back to the chat and we'll do that. Buford said soon everybody will be accepting Dogecoin. I hope so. I hope so. For Shane's sake, I hope so. Fifth says Cake Coin is what's next. Probably. I mean, you got Cum Rocket on there and stuff like that. Mike says invest in comic books and baseball cards. Good job. Good job. Yeah, definitely. That's a good place to put your money into, especially in this day and age. If you don't own like issue number 1 of Superman, I don't know if that's a good idea. I believe he was being sarcastic though. I said keep it going, Hoff. Well, I'll be on for a little bit longer, bud. Just a little bit longer. Buford says, my father always told me to invest in myself. Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. I think your father was right, man. I think that's great advice. Buford says he thinks the Alec Baldwin thing is real, but we shall see. Could be Psyop. Well, I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just saying it's all fishy. None of the stories add up and no one's getting charged for anything. And then now they're trying to dismiss it, even though allegedly this lady lost her life, Fifth says, I've heard stories of people recording for a movie and tapes disappear and people act like nothing. That's what I was wondering about this, because you'd think in this day and age in 2022 that when you're recording a movie, you'd have everything being saved to either like a flash drive, a hard drive, to the cloud, to anything where you can back it up because you don't want to lose that sort of. I do that with my stream. I'm doing that with my friggin' stream right now. I got my stream going to Twitch. Just in case they pull it off here, maybe I got a chance to grab it off of Twitch. You tell me there ain't no dang footage from Alec Baldwin's shootout there on this fake set? Get out of here. Bobby says, Baldwin is a Hollywood elite, that's for sure. And I don't trust these elites. I don't trust the Illuminati or the cult at all. He says, could double as a tax fraud. Buford T. Justice says, I used to work at McDonald's. The food is only decent if it's made fresh. Sounds like someone I know. Bobby says, Hoff, is your dog chipped? Yeah, she was chipped before I even got her. Yeah, she was chipped before I got her. Allegedly, I don't know where the chip is. They gave me a number. I don't know for sure if she's chipped. But yeah, they told me she is. And, she got a tag with the thing on it. It says they can use that to track you too. I'm sure they can. They can use my... where's... Bobby, let's be real, dude. I got an iPhone. They can track me anytime, not just through my dog. And track all of us. They're listening to me right now through this microphone. Even if you turn this thing all the way off, they can still hear you. They do. I've talked about that before about just ads popping. Everyone's kind of felt this way before, but very specific, very, very specific ads. Coming up from just talking about your things on your phone or whatever. Buford said, not sure how they could fake her death. She was working in the industry. Well, you kind of just answered your own question right there when you said she is working in the industry. someone would see and report she is alive. Well, what if she wasn't? Have you met this lady, Helena? Maybe she was a character, an actor, an actress, you know? Turbo, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm actually about to wrap it up here in about the next 10 minutes and go to the after party. If you want to join, if anyone else wants to join. I got one more video to show, maybe a couple UFOs, and then and we're gonna do it. And here's the video. I'm gonna actually mute myself, take a quick break, and then wrap this up. But I think this video is really awesome. Please stick around. I'll be back. I'm not gonna be gone for the whole video, but I'm just gonna be gone for a second. I need to take a bathroom break. I'm saying, Hoff's been on here for a minute, so yeah, it looks like Buford. Yeah, let's go to the after party. Let's do it. Fifth, I hope you can be there too. Fifth said, watch Altered Carbon and the source code. It's very telling on what's done in the world. I would like to. I've never seen either of those. Said or Future World, but I'd like to watch them sometime. I have a hard time watching movies nowadays. I don't know why. I really do. TV shows, movies, anything like that. So I'm going to show you a video here from a guy I admire to a certain extent, Owen Benjamin. No, we're not talking about the shape of any kind of planets or anything like that. This is a completely different thing that I thought was very... I saw this the other night, and it kind of like... I mean, just when I think like I can't open my eyes anymore, this kind of opened my eyes. So I'll be right back. Chill on this for a second and enjoy it. I'll be right back.
Listen to these lyrics again. Disarm you with a smile. Picture a little kid trying to smile so that they don't get attacked. And don't think it's all just adrenochrome and fucking Hollywood party. This is in every town in America. This is the standard operating procedure with children. And I'm not talking about lack of discipline. I do not mean that it doesn't mean correct your children, discipline your children, strengthen your children, but don't abuse them. Don't, when they ask interesting questions, don't tell them that they're fucked up. You know? Don't be a hypocrite. You know, don't say alcohol is bad and then have them watch dad drink. That's how they like when you say this actually happened to me. I was having a glass of wine and Walter was like, "Can I have some of that? What is that?" Because I don't drink very much. And my entire family's always in the same room all the time. So everything we do is observed by our children. And he was like, "Can I have some of that?" I go, No, it's not good for you. And he's like, "Then why do you drink it then?" Right. And don't get me wrong, like not being drunk, like small amounts of wine or meat or something local, I don't consider evil, or I don't consider even that bad, but it's definitely a doorway, especially if you have an addictive personality. But that, and think about it this way, it's like, because I abuse myself, buddy. Think about that. When it's like, oh no, when you're older, you can hurt yourself. Why not now? Well, because you're a beautiful boy. You're a healthy boy. I'm here to protect you. Why don't you protect yourself the way you'd protect your child? It's like, would you give your child wine? No. Why? Because it's bad for you. Then why are you drinking it, Dad? Oh yeah, you can't watch this movie. Why? Because it's bad. It's scary. Then why are you watching it? Why aren't you protecting yourself the way you protect me, Dad? That's where the trauma ends, guys. Have your children observe what a man is. It's protecting himself. Why would you dump poison? It's like, well, buddy, you know, because secretly dad's a bad guy and his questions are all poison and he's cancer. And so when I drink the alcohol and poison myself, the questions kind of go down and I accept this mundane, lie-based illusion called reality. And hopefully I can either come or get some money so that I feel a small sense of victory before I die. Okay? Like, is that what you're going to tell your kid?
I'm not a parent, by the way.
And you don't even think about it. When he asked that question, then why are
This is
you
advice
drinking
for
it then
adults,
if it's
too.
bad for you? Well, buddy, you know, sometimes a man has to unwind and poison himself. And then what they internalize is my dad is good. My dad is the representation of God in this home. And so apparently when I get older, it's good to be bad to yourself. You see that? If you wouldn't give it to your kid, why do you do it? And I have some deep-seated relationship with alcohol, and it's when I didn't have a drop for a year and a half, I proved to myself I wasn't a quote-unquote alcoholic. Not that I don't even know what that means really, but you know, I could just break that habit, and I proved it to myself. And then I will always associate it with safety and friendship, because for so long it was the way that I could get through life without being constantly called evil and cancerous. And looking back, I was fucking right. Why are all the maps looking different? Why don't we ever talk about, just basic questions?
Mm-hmm.
Basic questions. Man,
Yeah,
that's a powerful statement. Yeah,
I'll end that right there. That wasn't like I drink. I'm drinking right now. You know, like it helps. Like I know it's not good for me. I'm not shaming anyone. I'm not shaming myself either. But I do know that like the things that you put into your body basically do kind of can lower your frequencies or how receptive you are to other things. And I wish I could be better at that sort of thing sometimes. I feel like I am doing better. I'm not that bad. I've never been that bad, but I still want to see clear. I want to see the world as clear as I can. It's something I'm working on. Let me see here. Beaver said you don't do Netflix. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, especially after Cuties. You know what I'm talking about. Buford, we are bosses, absolutely. Bosses of Hoffcast. We're all bosses here. I love it. I love it. I've had such a good time tonight, by the way. Thank you all for being here. I've had a great time. I'm sorry to go through all this doom and gloom. Sometimes maybe I'm, I don't always smile or laugh. I try to as much as I can, just try to make this fun. But yeah, I have had a great time tonight, and you all make it a good night. Nick Bua, thanks for being here, man. Big Bear, the spell breaker, is a legend. Absolutely. I do believe so. I don't agree with everything he says either, but he does make you question. He makes you think critically about things, and that's what I like about Owen B for sure. Turbo Turd, on the other hand, says this guy. I used to follow him, but he says too much cray for me. I can see both sides of that. Totally. I can totally see that. Sometimes, I mean, some people will agree with him 100% on everything, but he is such an open-minded thinker that not everyone's going to agree with him on things. But I still think the guy is a legend, and I think you can take more from him that's good than bad. I honestly think that. Buford said coffee is a mean drug. Absolutely. Are you... All right. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to watch a couple UFO videos. I'm going to put the invite in the chat. And then by the end of the UFO videos, if you want to come to the after party, you are welcome to. It's going to be short. I'm just going to do about 5 minutes or so here of UFO videos. And I'm putting the invite in the chat now. So if anyone wants to come in, you are welcome to. But I'll probably have you on after the stream. Just a heads up. Right there it is. So Hoff's got to be careful about who he brings on these days, or people he's got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Hoff learned a lesson this last week, a very valuable lesson, and I think it's better he learn it sooner than later. And I'm talking in third person. I apologize for that. All right, let's take a look at this one. Always from Mavi777. if you watch KJ's What Happened, yeah, I get some stuff from him, including this, and there's a couple other websites that I want to include in my UFO watching, but this one's the main one in my opinion. It's what you get the best stuff with. So look at this one right here. This looks like a classic one, dude. It's got an eyeball on it, kind of. Maybe the all-seeing eye. It's kind of weird, like a pot turned over, you know, like one of those places got the cake under it. You put the thing on top. Is this plain or what? Let's see the rest of this thing. It's pictures. Get through it. 2 eyes there. We got this thing. Who know? Whoa! Look at that thing. That's kind of wild. Buford T. Justice, I know who you are. I believe I do. Temperature says, looks like my camping pan. That last one. Fib90 says, bringing me on last week was the reason you got a strike. Nah, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think it was, man. That's not the reason why I'm not having anyone on this week. That's not the reason why at all. If you come backstage, you might actually find out. I hate to do this, but if we're going to do it, let's do it. Why not? We'll do it backstage, of course. This should be fun. Should be fun if that's the case. If Buford T is someone. Yusuf, what's up, bro? What's up, man? You're up late too, huh? Looked like the classroom ring bell in the beginning. Thanks for joining, Yusuf. I appreciate you, man. I hope you're having a good night. I will see you tomorrow, bud. I know Yusuf personally. What a great guy for stopping by here. Let's find something that might look a little bit cooler. Let's see this one here. Take the ad out. Yeah, y'all are bosses tonight for watching. I appreciate you being here. About to wrap it up. We'll do the wrap up after this last video and go to the after party. We'll see what's going to happen there. Seems like it could be interesting. From what I see, it could be very interesting. Who knows what's going to happen? Leaked photo from Area 51 facility. That's pretty wild. Look at that. Is that the technology they made from the technology that they stole? Is that picture from like a year ago? Who knows? Oh, look at that. That's kind of weird. There's like a big smoke ring up in the air. Oh, that was quick. Okay, let's. They're always disappointing. They're always disappointing me. Every time I watch one of these videos, it's disappointing. We're gonna watch a good one. We're gonna watch a good one before we leave. I cannot leave on a bad note, and that's why I should do my research before I come on. Okay, here's a good one. This is a good one right here. Look at that thing. That's not CGI at all. It's just flipping around all crazy. Yusuf goes, I was waiting for the show. My guy almost forgot for a second. Hey, ring the bell. Subscribe. You already subscribed. Ring the bell. You get the notifications 8:30 on Tuesdays. Yusuf, I don't know if you got a camera or anything. You're welcome to come backstage after the show. I get the the link in the chat. I'll put that back out there in a minute. Turbo says smoke, LOL smoke ring from Snoop Dogg's place in that last video. I thought I saw a really, really good one earlier this week, but I don't see it on here anymore. Let me see if I can find that thing. I apologize. Thought it was one of these videos. Oh, this one right here. This is the one. This was crazy. This is it. Watch this one.
Oh, look at this. What is this?
Edge out of the way.
No idea. It's like yeah.
It's like a jellyfish in the sky.
Where's the
from January 11th this year.
Yeah, on the sky.
It's a space.
Whoa, man, look at that thing.
What in the
Oh my gosh.
What is that?
I mean, could be fake, obviously CGI.
Oh my
computer,
gosh.
but that's weird
Did you
looking.
see everybody?
Like it's nothing I've ever even seen in my life. Like a thing, like he would
my
create a
gosh.
thing that's just
It's
like so
giving me
abstract and
goosebumps.
weird like that.
Oh, it's creepy.
Is it a million?
Oh my gosh. Hurry up.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
Come here.
Oh my gosh.
What is that?
That's like cereal.
He's recording it.
Doesn't it?
It's zoomed in. Look.
Doesn't.
Come here. He's recording it. Zoomed in.
I told you it looked weird.
What is that?
Oh.
Hey there.
Oh no,
what
no,
if
no,
I
we don't
told you
want
that
that.
this
We don't
is
want
your
that going
chance to
on.
ace the
I can't be having any ads on there. I'll bring it back up as soon as the ad's over. Cause that's a good one. All right, there we go. Hey, what is that, dude? Like,
That's
what?
cool. It's been changing shapes.
Is it CGI? Is it? What is it?
Wow.
Like,
It's beautiful.
if these people are being honest,
So,
but I've never really
you
seen
see where
anything
we
like that. Is what I'm saying. It's such a weird, like, looking thing. It says flying jellyfish. I mean, yeah. I mean, aren't jellyfish kind of flying when they're underwater though? Isn't that like kind of like they're birds underwater? That made any sense?
Okay.
Like, I feel like underwater creatures do fly because they're never on the ground. If they're in the water, they can be anywhere they want, so they can kind of fly in water, or AKA swim.
It's hard to. Oh, it's beautiful.
It's like fireworks.
There's no way that's airplane.
That's not an airplane.
That's.
It's been there a long time.
Yeah. It's hard to zoom that close. I think that's perfect. So we all get to see it. I mean, we are not joking.
I don't know what this is, but we didn't
So
make
it's
it.
Christmas
It's
ornament.
not the movie. We are real here, live. I wish I could live. I don't think we have signal here.
No.
We don't have signal. So, but it's amazing, guys.
It's a kind of a beautiful thing to look at, though. You know what I mean? The videos always end like that. They always end like that. You never see the ending. You never see when it flies off. You never see the ending of it. That's what I hate most about these UFO videos and questions my legitimacy of them is that you never see the ending. You never see the full anything. Like, I understand if it comes in halfway through, like, oh yeah, you see something, you pull your phone out, but no one ever films long enough to see it go away. It's like you just don't see it. It's very rare if you do. Very, very rare. And it's even sketchy sometimes. I'm not saying I don't believe in aliens. I do. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're from other planets or interdimensional. Who knows? But I just don't know how legitimate a lot of these videos are here. So once again, I'm going to put the invite in the chat for anyone who wants to come backstage for the after party. I'm doing it right now. I'll be here till 12:20. If you want to join in, I'll be backstage. If no one shows up, that's fine. I hope to see you there. Let me do a quick plug here because no one else will. No one else will. So once again, you can go to Hoffcast.com. Hoffcast.com, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how you can keep up with me. If this stream gets taken down, if I get another Strike 2 for anything that I've said tonight, well, then you can find out here and find out when I'll be back on and also know what I'm doing. Also, I can still keep posting videos to other places on this website that I own, and you'll be able to see it. So definitely check out Hoffcast.com. I appreciate it if you do. More than anything, I appreciate it. If you're watching, you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You make my day, you turn a button gray. So dumb, but I just said it again. So I appreciate if you'd all do that for me. Even maybe ring the bell or share it. So I will be back next Tuesday, God willing, as long as the powers that be do not try to strike me down. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. I appreciate y'all being here. I love every single one of you. Y'all are great people. And we'll meet up next week once again. Please keep in contact. I love you. Cheers. Let's do this after party. It should be interesting. Hoff signing off.